games that you wanna see, like Dungeons and Dragons or being Jason Statham. Josh the Pirate's who you expect me to be, and it brings me more pleasure than walking in the shoes of someone I disagreed with for over a mile so that I understand their perspective, but also I am now a mile away and I have their shoes to welcome me back to Corsair's Cove for another episode in my Humblewood world for some more of Elements and Evil. Or the art that she makes so rarely a mistake with Daria. Bronze becomes so numb. John, is he still there? He seems so tired, maybe needs some air. Karen's playing cash. All I want to do when we end the day is curl up with you. Can't you see that you're smothering him? He's holding back slightly, afraid you'll lose control. Brendan's all that we need him to be, with all of his heart and soul. But flattery aside, we need to talk about these lovely folks, shall we, ladies and gents? So, Daria, who the absolute heck are you?
I'm absolutely an artist and a player of D&Ds. I play Julio Switchgear, Pope, Rogue, possibly soon not an ex-pirate, but pirate anew, question mark?
Ooh, a re-pirate.
Re-pirate.
Excellent. Splendid. John, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm John. I play Bron. I'm an actor, dancer, sometimes dabble in the world of tech. Yeah, and that's it.
Okay, no worries. Karen, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Karen, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies. I'm a performer, a writer, an internet addict. And next week, for 3 days only, your trusty DM. And by trusty, I mean completely untrustworthy, devious, and murderous DM. Enjoy.
Brendan?
Hello, I am Brendan. I am an actor and director and laugher, and notable Russian poet.
Yeah. Well, you don't know.
You have the beard for it. You
Yeah,
have
that's
the
fair,
beard
that's
to
true.
cosplay Tolstoy if you wanted.
Or you could be the, you could be a medicine man, and convince a queen that you'd save her son. I could
have sex with
definitely
her.
see you. Yeah, and then have sex with her.
Yeah,
a lot.
and then
That is
have sex
actually
with her
very
and
much his
everyone
MO.
else in the court.
Yeah.
And like, he got laid a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Kinda
dude
cult.
was... If
And
he
his
had
thing
any
was
wizardry,
married
it was
women.
getting ladies' pants off.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me start again. Hi, my name is Brendan, and I'm Rasputin.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now we know.
Rah, 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 the
Oh
lover
my
of
god,
the
that's
Russian
next
queen.
week's song. I haven't tried that one yet. It'll be hard.
pace.
Yeah, well, look, Linkin Park was an interesting challenge. And I'm
Yeah.
Josh the Pirate. You can find me in my channel, Corsair's Cove, but you've already done that. You're here, you've joined us. Thank you for doing so. You can also find me on the podcast There Be Dragons, if you like my voice but not the face. That's where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar and his little dragon, Rosh. Other than that, yeah, I'll be a player next week on Tuesday night, as Karen is the DM. But I'm having a night off. Fuck it. I'm having a night off on Monday. Karen can do it. She's a big, strong, independent woman. Don't need no man.
Except when I need to reach things on the high shelves. Then need man.
Then need man. I am man when things are needed. Excellent. All right. Well, mateys, where are we? I must remind our glorious, replete, and possibly even rather dashing audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things. The crowd goes wild. Yay! The pirate also goes wild. Yay! Yeah, we've got all the socials. You can check them out here. Socials, that's the one. We have a YouTube if you want to catch up on any episodes you may have missed. There's a few at this point. This is Bronze 45th. And we have a Discord if you want to come and hang out with us there. Tell us where we know you from as well. That's an important part of the whole joining the Discord process. Otherwise, I kind of just like ban you because I'm like, well, no, if you don't tell me who you are, how the hell am I supposed to verify you?
You could be anybody.
Yeah. particularly
You
if
could
you've
be the
joined us
FBI.
in the last
Rasputin.
month. It's unlikely, but not impossible.
Which one?
Yes. And we are affiliated with a couple of wonderful groups of beans. Trollord Games make the Castles and Crusade system. TLD. No, Trollord Games, that one. Yep, TLG, that's the one. You can check out their fantastic things at trollord.com. Expansions for some of your favorite TTRPGs and other whole systems. And Wooden Forge Gaming Accessories make the things that I roll my dice in. These beautiful wooden dice trays and other tabletop accessories, all crafted from Australian hardwoods, often reclaimed as well. They're very environmentally friendly. Check them out at woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove, you bloody champions. Karen, tell me about the Ukraine. I hear things aren't fantastic.
No, that's one way to put it. Things are not fantastic in the Ukraine, which is a shame. It's a lovely place with lovely people in it. So if you have any extra money rattling around your digital wallet, you can follow the link in chat and donate to the Red Cross Ukraine Crisis Appeal, because as the name suggests, they will be helping the people in the Ukraine who are currently in crisis, which is too many. So if you can, please give generously.
Excellent, thank you very much, my love. And I think we need a bit of a recap as to what happened last time. It was one of my favourite episodes for quite a while. I will tell you guys just now. The VOD went up yesterday evening. It's a Turquoise Vixen. Sneaking in. A sneak attack from Turquoise Vixen. Brendan, what the heck happened last time?
Well, let me preface this by saying that like 2 minutes ago, my internet froze and a thing came up saying I have an unstable connection. So hilariously, potentially I could fizzle out midway through this recap again. But we'll see.
We know
how
your
we do.
tricks. We know your tricks.
Yeah, I'm just pressing the internet button.
Oh no.
Oh no, not the internet button.
I can't recap. So last session we were mopping up basically after murdering or preventing an air elemental incursion that was attempting to assimilate the Alderheart into itself via an elemental named Charles, who Eric has got on the record numerous times saying he never wanted to bring Charles with him. And it turns out that Eric was right again.
Look, he can just bask in his own superiority, okay?
Look, to be fair, if it wasn't Charles, it probably would have been Mercy.
This is the thing. It had to happen.
Yeah, because the narrative had to happen like that. So it was okay.
You needed a node.
Yeah, so the narrative had to happen like that. In any case, everyone suddenly burst into gear of trying to help to minimize loss of life and to help the tree recover. Eric mobilized the tenders to set up some viney patches on the sides of the tree to act as triage centers and ended up accidentally creating an air highway infrastructure. Julio became even more of a pope than he already was. More on that later. Bron had accidentally had his amnesia beaten out of him and had a flashback to his parents, which he forgot existed, which is totally on brand with Bron, that he understands a lot of things but not how babies are made. And Kesh kind of left the law department to the people whose job that is, and instead went to visit hospitals to make sure that people were okay, and met with a young person who had one or several amputations, as well as chatting with people engaged in the rescue effort who had to make decisions between one person or another person to save. And so Kesh was kind of the more human / humble folky ear to the ground in kind of giving us a glimpse into the collateral damage of heroes being heroes. We all went off to do our own things to that regard. We had a couple of hours between rescuing the Alderheart again and going to a meeting where a bunch of Amaranthine were present or being represented to discuss the final steps of ascending the Alderheart to godhood. A couple of people present were kind of shocked by that, to which I say, get your head out of your ass. It's been happening for at least 12 months of game time. Watch a VOD.
Yeah, ERE.
ERA.
Catch up on the
Come on.
VODs.
But everyone seemed to be pretty much on board. We effectively agreed that there were two options, two planes left. We had to do something with the water plane, who we haven't really had any contact with up until this point. And there was also the case of the fire plane. Hey, over their attacks over the last millions of years, or how long they've been attacking us, they have left a lot of shit around. So, hey, we could probably just scavenge a bunch of that crap and make that our connection to the plane of fire.
The littering is about to backfire.
And Eric kind of made the point of, no, look, they have attacked us so long and so frequently. We have this big history with them. Our connection with them to ascend the Alderheart should be that we go over there and make sure that they know not to fuck with us anymore. To which everyone, including the DM, agreed. But I feel like we had agreed that our first step would be to engage with the plane of water, which we had a lot of enthusiasm for doing via Julio's best idea that he's possibly ever had. We had to find a way to dispose, apart from the cult, we had to we had to find a way to dispose of the limb that had been parasitized by the plane of air, and in doing so, Julio had the spontaneous idea of, you know what, that could make a ship. And everyone was like, fuck yeah, that can make a ship. That can be an ark. So that, I think, is one of our next steps, is to figure out how we can turn that into a still living, floating ark, and then sail that to the ocean to find a way of connecting with the plane of water via wetness. And that is my recap. Thank you, everyone. My name was Brennan Ellis.
Rasputin Ellis.
Yeah, Rasputin Ellis. You can send money to my PayPal. That's all good. Thank you.
Yeah, love it. Marvelous. Well, mateys, may the expectations of a nascent god rest lightly on your shoulders, and no tree elementals steal any of your limbs as we head, tremulously at first and then with mounting heat and passion, into the Humblewood. So, we return to the Alderheart canopy. An elemental once named Borain Bitterground has just slumped forward onto a table, the last of his life essence given that the Alderheart could attend the meeting in person. There is a soft sob from the attending witnesses, and possibly surprisingly, it actually comes from Iari. Just, taken by the emotion of his sacrifice. So, Borain has just delivered the Alderheart's sort of charge to you. The rivers of people are flowing to the city. You can see from your place in the canopy lights. People are from all over the wood and even beyond it, traveling. The word of Julio's new faith has spread probably further than he actually might even have suspected. And yeah, everybody kind of there's a hush for a moment. I imagine partially in sort of respect to Borain, but also just a wow. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is Privet who speaks up. Young Mr. Well, not young actually. He's quite old, but Mr. The freshman councilman from the Roots, Privet Shrubrow, speaks up and says, "Yes, well, I should see about finding places for all these pilgrims to stay. I think that's possibly the most useful thing I could potentially do, unless anybody has any other suggestions."
There are some very fresh domiciles which have been made on the sides of the Alderheart, which may do temporarily.
Yes, and rehousing those who lost their homes, of course, as well. Temporary little domiciles would be an excellent idea. Yes, well, I shall, Speaker, I shall take charge of that matter if you're all right with that. And Yari is dabbing at her eye with a handkerchief. And says, "Yes, of course, Councillor. Very kind, very proactive of you. This is just a lot, you know. There's a lot. What happened to your arm, Bron?"
In defense of the tree, it was consumed in more ways than one. And shall soon, with the help of good Eric here, be resumed. That's a word.
It's certainly a word.
Thank you.
Resume the arm. Yeah. She says, "Oh goodness. Well, I'm sure Eric can fix it. Eric, he's very good at that."
I hope so.
Gabby sort of pats Bron on the knee. Right. Well, I suppose I'll start trying to figure out how to make a tree fly. Hey, Raleigh, want to help me with that? And the deep fat friar pipes up and says, "Sounds fun to me. Anything I can do to help. It's incredibly boring being a deep fat friar, I'll be honest." And Julio has to
almost
make
as
hash
boring
browns
as
in
fat
days.
friar.
Julio's girlfriend, ayo.
Hey, I was gonna say you're gonna be a friar on a ship soon again, so that's much
That's true.
better.
That is where I taught the deep fryer to walk.
It is a step in the correct direction, sure.
I just really wanted to get in her relationship to Julio in case anyone is watching this for the first time.
Yeah.
To be like,
Yes.
why is there a deep fat friar in this forest animal campaign, and why is it his
This-
ex-girlfriend?
This is what happens when you date Julio.
Yeah. Well,
Also,
yeah.
why? Those
Yeah.
questions are perfectly self-evident. I don't understand.
Yeah, when you date Julio, you always run the risk of, being abducted by a hostile deity and having your life force slowly drained, and then Julio shows up in the nick of time, managed to save your soul, but your body had already kind of perished, so they're working on a new one, but there are other problems to solve before we do that.
That's my beige flag in dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's that or catch an STD, so.
In fairness, they're not together.
My dick is blessed. It is blessed by the Alderheart. What are you
Pure-
talking about?
Purified dick and balls cast every morning.
Julio saw what Bron did with his arm and went back later to make a glory hole out of the older.
See, I didn't say it, but it's the best idea that Eric ever had.
It's the life node.
That is not Eric's idea.
I love that both of those ideas
Feel like-
are only facilitated by the cult, which was definitely not necessarily one of the best ideas. I know where the story would have gone if that hadn't happened.
Okay, when we're done with the campaign, like actually done in like 50 years from now, we should totally talk about like the possibility, the roads that weren't taken, you know?
What flowers are on Julio's art? Those are alder blossoms. They are, yeah, the flowers of the Alderheart, the vines. Alderheart can make most sort of plant forms, and yeah, it's a sort of viney situation. A cape that is, yeah, Alderheart blossoms. Technically, it's an oak, but it's not really an oak. It's kind of an every tree at this point. It's a little confused. Iari says, Kesh, it might well be wise to, and it's actually something of an oversight. I didn't know what this was about. You should probably best brief the general.
Yes.
And take precautions, take steps in mobilizing the Woods forces. It occurs to me that this, I mean, the actions of the plane of air, it's not the only, it's not, there will be others, there will be more, I suspect. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't, particularly what with the fire plane and the Scorched Grove. Eric, the tenders will have reinforcements sent to the Scorched Grove, I think, for certain.
Good. Thank you.
Yes, well, and Jenna actually probably would say, that might actually be a place where I can be well employed. Gaspard is of the fire. I am attuned that way, so I could take charge of some forces, perhaps, or at least assist. I have military training. She says to Cash more than anybody else, like, don't worry, I'm not a novice. But, you know, a paladin of Gaspard, Cash is in no way surprised, is a skilled military leader.
Absolutely. We will probably need the assistance. In various ways. Oh boy. Anyone else just want to sit down?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I suppose I better find a general, huh?
I don't think it needs to happen right this moment, dear.
What time of day? It's evening now,
It's
isn't
sort of
it?
early evening. It's sort of, yeah, probably 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Cool. Honestly, I'm like, dinner in bed, deal with this in the morning? How are we feeling?
I think that
Well,
our effectiveness is limited.
yeah.
Mine certainly is.
When we were in the roots and they were like doing the protective thing, did we get an impression that they need help or they're chilling? Like we can sleep for the night.
Oh, that the area down there is sort of the current emergency has lapsed. You definitely, like, I don't think anyone would hold against you guys having a rest at this point. Iari says, no, you I think you lot have earned the night off. Kesh, if you wouldn't mind briefing the general before you take your leave of us.
Totally. Absolutely.
expect she'd appreciate that. And honestly, if I'd known, I'd have invited her. But she's sort of, her responsibility extends beyond the Alderheart, which is probably why the tree didn't think of her. She also doesn't spend an awful lot of time here.
Do you know where exactly she is right now?
Haven't the faintest idea, but I believe she's in the tree, so probably the headquarters, probably the perched guards headquarters. I would have thought that's where her office is. And
we'll
you
start
would know
there.
that. Like, so probably her office.
Cool. We'll start there and see how we go. Right.
The other representatives, Kekahai says, so, what's the plan regarding the sort of the trip, the job, the thing? I have some details. I have checked it out myself from a distance. If you want to have some further food for thought, if you need any. There's a fortress under the sea. It's an outpost, really, mostly ignored, but it's a node. It has a node at its heart, a water node. And rather perfectly, there's a pearl in the middle, which would be the node, I believe. Obviously, it's a trap, of course.
Of course, absolutely a trap. Why would it not
Well,
be a
it's
trap?
assumed.
Yes, but they know how
It
little
would also
time you
be
have.
quite rude for us to just stroll into a fortress and take their precious treasure and leave.
Well,
Yeah.
also that. But
quick
they know how
question.
little time you have, so I don't. What forces can be gathered? Do you want to storm the place, or is this going to be a sneaky, stealthy situation?
May I ask a question? As a ex-pirate, do I have any experience or do I know anything about this place?
Yeah, she gives you a location, roughly 50 miles north of Saltar's Point, and about 20 miles out to sea. Which does... You would know the location only as a... if you think about it, the epicenter of some of the nastiest storms you've ever sailed through. But
Cool.
nothing of any note. Like, you wouldn't know, like, it's always... This bit of water's always been quite choppy. But putting two and two together, you would realize why. But other than that, no.
Yep.
It's
Got it.
not a major area. Like, the water plane is not particularly active in this area. Probably because the plane of fire is.
I see. I will share that info with the rest and say, yeah, even getting there will be tricky. If it's active, we'll have to sail through.
I can take you, but if you're making a ship, that would work too.
Yeah, if we're making a ship, I think that's the best way to check if it works.
And then if it all goes
Well-
tits up, we don't ruin your ship.
Oh, I
We
don't have a
wouldn't-
ship. I was just going to carry you.
Yes. My concern would be on how quickly we want to do this, because even with all of our powers and the help of the Alderheart combined, I imagine that branch probably wouldn't be seaworthy by tomorrow.
No.
Whereas Kekahai, gracious as she is, could theoretically take us at any time that we want to be taken. So if we have weeks to do this, then great, we can work on making the arc, which, trust me, I really, really want to do. However, if this is a matter of time and my intuition and connection with the spiritual powers of DM tell me that it is, then perhaps Kekahai will need to be our
hold on. Let me connect with my third eye that talks directly to the dungeon master. Didn't someone at the meeting say that they're like, we got you with magic to create the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be physically, we're gonna whittle it down to a ship. They're gonna magic it
Gonna
up for
grow
us.
Yes.
You
Do
will be
are you
involved.
confident that will happen in less than a week?
So you
What
actually
did they
have,
say?
this is day 6. You had 7 days. This is the second of those days.
So is it day 6 or day 2?
Sorry, there's a day, I'm counting down. It's day 2 of 7.
Yeah. Okay. Do we
Okay, and-
have any
did
idea
they say-
how long it would take us to make the branch water-worthy, seaworthy?
I had planned it to be a morning's activity.
Nice. Then perfect.
Okay.
Then nice.
Great.
But that's DM being very frank with players rather than characters making logical decisions in character. Julio
Well,
basically
in
has
character,
faith in Alderheart.
how long? Okay. That's great for Julio. What about the rest of us? How long? Because like making this thing into an arc within a week is a miracle.
Yeah. Gabby would say,
and yeah,
it depends.
would far surpass anyone's.
If you want it, it depends how big a thing you want. If it's about... Because it's essentially just tree crafting, which is something tenders do all the time. If you want the entire thing to be a boat, that'd take a while. To turn it into a... To make just a bit of it into a boat, to make a good portion of it into a boat-sized boat, not a giant ark, which it would be if you made the entire thing, would be a work of a few hours, and, you know, half a dozen tenders assisting, and...
Would it still be like a living part of the tree?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it would have to... It needs the tree's assistant to do it.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So it's not like having the small one makes it any lesser.
No.
Oh, it's just like it takes like a
Just more
normal crew and
maneuverable
not
and takes
like,
a smaller crew, and yeah.
That's not a bad thing, so
Listen, I will defer to the group, but Julio,
Yes.
we're likely only going to have one shot at this. Do you really want to rush this for the sake of it being ready for us tomorrow, or do you think that this deserves some time and more intricate planning in order to make this vessel the best thing that it can be to serve more than our immediate needs of going to an underwater fortress and the greater needs of being a mobile conduit of the Alderheart?
I like both ideas because we need to check if this is something that actually works, and if we create a gigantic thing for weeks that can house a lot of people, and we haven't like checked if the wood is capable of you know protecting us from water and such, that will be a much more dangerous task, and also out of character. Then when the fuck are we gonna use it?
I don't know what argument you thought you were making, but to me the argument sounded like, let's spend time and wait to do the thing.
That is not what I
Anyway.
was saying, but
Yeah.
I'm also tired of talking about this.
so we building a boat, not building the boat, because
Cash, I think it's up
no,
to
no,
you. I
yeah.
think
So yeah. In terms of our immediate goal, get to Water Fortress, we have turn the branch into a smaller ship, which may or may not impact it being turned into an ark, or Kekahai has graciously offered to take us there.
Well, I can go with you on the boat, but I'm actually completely forbidden from engaging in combat. That's the treaty hath signed. So I would have to drop you off, build the boat, you would have marked backup. Also, what purpose would a I'm sorry, the arc sounds impressive. What's the point?
It sounds impressive.
It does sound impressive. It also sounds
No,
very
I think
difficult
that's
to
the
sort of
point.
operate and man and sort of. I think any sailed tree would be neat and impressive.
Julio has said that he's done talking about this, so my vote is Kekahai takes us.
Okay.
I mean, I'm fine with either.
There are four of
I
us
just-
to vote.
Yeah.
I'm happy with being outvoted, but that's my vote.
Okay. I'm for both, but I'm happy with either. I don't know why this is a big thing we're thinking about.
Yeah.
I just want us to get to the resolution.
Out of character, I'm confused about I'm confused about Eric's opposition to it. Is he just tired of? Is he just bored of it, or is he hedging his bets?
I'm confused. I don't know so the question is, what do we do tomorrow? And for me, the options are Kekahai just takes us.
Yeah.
Or we rush the creation of this boat, which could take more time to do better and bigger. And so Eric's feeling is further than just tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do we want a big fuck off arc? Let's not carve a piece out of that arc now. Let's just give that the time that it needs. So
Sure.
that's
Okay.
what he's leaning towards.
So I suppose Kekahai would be like, well, do you want a big fuck off arc?
I mean, it's cool.
My vote
to
is Kekahai.
have, But okay. Out of character, guys. I'm not feeling too bent one way or the other. I'm just thinking, if we have a cool idea for a cool boat, why not use it during the campaign instead of having it like as a possible thing in the future? But I don't care.
Sure.
Yeah, neither do I.
Okay. Sure. Well then, I shall see you on the morrow then. Kesh, shall I? Would you care to dinner?
Oh, I'd love to. I just have to go find the general first.
Well, why don't I help you?
That would be great. You are welcome to help me find the general.
She she walks to the edge of the platform that you guys are on, puts out a hand, and offers it to you.
Okay.
And then she pulls you and steps off. And and everybody sort of just sees Kesh be yanked off the platform by this, to the best of everybody else's knowledge, Astorial. And sort of passes off, and I'm very cinematically imagining, yeah! And then there is a whoosh as a large silver dragon flies up, swoops back up into view, and Kesh is still screaming, but now straddling her neck. She flaps up to the, actually swoops down to the Purge Guard headquarters and drops you off.
I like to think like Kesh gets off, like her fur's all wind blown.
Yeah.
Like standing on end. It's like, thanks, that was exhilarating. Wobbles away, slightly unsteady.
She sort of curls up a little bit like a cat and says, I'll wait out here, darling.
Thank you.
And she is now a 40-foot long, roadblock that people, traffic is having to navigate around. You head inside and find Benisaridan. we don't have to roleplay it. I presume you just inform her.
Yeah, basically I would be like, so they had a meeting. These are our decisions. So we're gonna go to a water node tomorrow and hopefully succeed and not die. You guys
and
might want to be
she
on
basically checks
red
in
alert
the council
for...
is all good for that.
Yeah.
And that, then she says she will mobilize the brigade.
We basically
and
need
deploy-
everyone like on red alert because there will be elemental shenanigans. It's just a matter of when.
She says the best solution she can think of is to deploy scouts throughout the wood, particularly to known elemental hotspots. She wants to deploy a company to the Scorched Grove, but also a major detachment to, I don't know if you remember this, because it was in season 1.
Yeah, I almost certainly don't remember
Monsters and Magic. I think it was like the second thing you guys did was you found a dual node of fire and water in balance.
Yes. It was in a cave, wasn't it?
It was underwater. Yeah, it was under a heated pool.
That's right. We had a spa day and found a double node.
You did. And
Just casually.
Yeah, she wants to deploy a detachment to that. However, the trick is it's secret. So I don't actually know that she knows about it, but if she did, she would want to deploy a detachment to it. So the question is, would Kesh tell her?
I feel Cash would, I think Cash would feel obliged to let her know of all the various elemental hotspots she's aware of.
Because I don't recall if you guys, when you came back, actually reported it to Larimar.
I do not remember if we did or not.
Yes, please, can I be deployed to the magical spa node? Yeah, I know, right? Sounds lovely.
Screw the water node. Let's go to the spa node, y'all. Yeah, I think Cash would get a little bit of paper and a pen and just jot down a list of danger zones as far as she's concerned. They don't necessarily have to get all up in the node's business. They kind of just have to know roughly where the pool is and that it's got a node under it. So it'll be kind of we found a node here, we found a node here, noticed a bunch of elemental shit here. List. And yeah, basically talk Benna through, or talk with Benna, if Benna knows of some elemental spots that Kesh doesn't. Kesh would be great, good to know.
Awesome. Alrighty.
Let's team this up.
Yeah.
You tell me your elemental hotspots, I'll tell you mine.
So you tell her about the cave up in the mountains where they mine halversite? Actually, come to think of it, you wouldn't need to. Because the bloke who runs that is Kral, who used to work for Benna and actually still does. Kesh, you would be aware that Benna has quietly reinstated Kral as a part of the Wildwood Brigade. But it's been done quite quietly, and he holds a major's rank. So you actually outrank him now. And yeah, she did that specifically because there is a node there. He had told her, and she's like, right, I'll send you back up. Yeah, there's a magma node. There's a lava node, which is earth and air. Earth and water, rather. Fire. Earth and fire. Earth, wind, and fire. Yeah, so she says, well, actually, that's fortunate that he's already got some troops, but I'll let him know. And he's always on guard. You know him. He doesn't really let it down.
He doesn't sleep. He waits.
Yes, I think that's a good way of putting it. I don't know what that's not her voice. Her voice is slow and slightly French. Cool. You head back out, and Kekahai has actually, Kekahai has, as you appear, she turns back into a Mapache. And there's a, from the crowd, who had just about gotten used to there being a giant silver dragon, and no one knows what that is. And just sort of like, okay, like, Kesh Glitterweave arrived on it, so it's probably fine. And it had been here recently, like other people had seen it. But they were like, okay, I guess this thing just happens sometimes, and everyone's just got to be okay with it. Look, this is only the third weirdest thing that's happened today so far.
Yeah, I'm like, in the grand scheme of shit, this is fine. Like, what are you all, like, fussing about? Like...
So, you head back out, and, she says, I've asked around, and apparently Stromboli's is a very good restaurant. That are apparently still open. Take care, Turquoise Vixen. Have a lovely evening. How does that strike you?
Sounds great. As long as it serves food, we are all good.
Kesh, that is the most expensive restaurant in the canopy.
Would I know that?
Yes.
Kesh is trying to think of a tactful way to say, you don't have to spend that much.
Then you remember that she has, her home is like full of gold.
Right, cool. Kesh, who probably isn't super well paid, is going to be like, if you want to, that's great. I'd love to go.
Marvelous. She does, evidently.
Quickly, can I insight? Does she have ulterior motive for taking me to the most expensive restaurant in Alderheart?
In terms of, does she have sights on your pants, or you can insight her.
Yeah, is she buttering me up for some particular reason? Doesn't have to be sexual. Just
noted.
27.
27.
Is she buttering me up for something?
No, not buttering you up. She definitely wants a private chat.
Cool.
But. Yeah. But not with ulterior motives as far as, like, as best as you can tell, she just wants a private chat. And it occurs to you that the most expensive restaurant in town is probably a decent place for a private chat. Particularly on a day of a freaking disaster. It's like, I can't imagine business will be booming this evening. The fact that they're open is a testament to how expensive this place is.
It's like we don't close for anything.
You are shown to a table by a ruffled but I would say actually determinedly unruffled Luma man, who he's a Luma but an unusual kind. He's a penguin. You know of them. They're not particularly they're not native to the wood, but and he speaks with a thick foreign accent. He has a little hey Roverjax, lovely to see you. He has a little pince-nez glasses on his beak, he seats you and he's like deliberately unfazed by everything.
Cool. Are you like a wine drinker or a beer drinker? Do you like spirits?
I'll drink most things here.
Some sort of fruit-based mocktail?
I draw the line at blood, but other than that, and well, you know what, it depends. But wine is. Let's go wine, shall we? Well, what's your fancy, dear?
Something white and fluffy.
White and fluffy. 2 white and fluffies, please.
So does this mean canonically there is a wine called White and Fluffy?
I think White and Fluffy would be it's a cocktail. It's definitely a cocktail of some sort. I'm imagining some coconut rum situation. I think it's probably not unlike a, what's the one with pineapple?
Pina colada?
Pina colada, yeah.
There's a cocktail called a fluffy duck.
There is a fluffy duck, the Advocar, and yeah, that one's nice. It feels a little off color though to be drinking it in in a world where birds can talk.
Just the ducks at the next table are fucking glaring at you. Bitch, that's my neighbor you're drinking.
I mean, it's not made of duck.
They're ducks.
I believe
they don't have the brain
Advocaat
power
is
to make
made
that
with,
distinction.
with egg. So wow, that's racist. So yeah, she says once you have a moment to yourself, she says, "Are you all right?" Sort of suddenly serious. She goes, "Are you okay?"
I think I'm about as okay as I could expect to be under the circumstances.
Not what I asked, dear.
Okay, fine. I'm not okay. We have to somehow, go into almost certainly extremely dangerous trap, get elemental thing, bring back, go repeat process, and then at the end of it, somehow make a god. And honestly, really feels like we've been succeeding thus far. Just because of luck. I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what you're doing?
There isn't really a... I actually think there is, but not on this plane, a sort of process and pattern for this. So, I think anybody doing what you're doing is very much making it up and flying by the seat of their pants, as it were. You're right to feel that way, though. Totally valid.
Because, our plan right now is have Dragon drop us off at Waternode, go in and get power.
Yep. Then do something to get power from the plane of fire, and then throw all that into an egg? I'm a little light on the detail on that one. Something about there's already one god been made?
Well, it's like the energy needed to create a god, but it's currently inside. What did we put it in again?
Kind of in Nevermore.
Yeah, but
it's
Nevermore's
an
in
egg.
something as well.
It's a sort of it's an egg. It's sort of in the shape of an egg. It's a crystal.
Yeah, we
And
kind
it's
of
kind
put.
of being orbited by the feathers.
Yeah, we kind of put our friend Nevermore and. Oh, God. Sorry, I can't remember anything tonight. What's the name of Strahd's place?
Oh, Barovia.
Barovia.
Barovia. Yeah, we kind of put Nevermore and the energy of Barovia into an egg-shaped crystal that theoretically will become a god. It's just waiting.
To be bound to a second god. Yes.
So that's probably crazy dangerous.
Yes, crazier to leave it just sitting, I think. That sort of thing sounds very unstable, so it's kind of you're under the pump time-wise as well, which adds more stress. This sort of thing is called an extinction burst. When everything feels like it's going to lose, it fights back all the harder.
Oh, I hope so. Because if it all goes horribly wrong, I will feel at least partially responsible.
Yes, of course.
Like, not 100% my fault, but it's definitely partially my fault. And therefore, partially my responsibility.
The only reason it would be your fault would be because of the successes you've had so far. If you'd done nothing, we wouldn't be at this point.
But equally, if I'd done nothing, we wouldn't be at this point.
Exactly.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
It's hard to actually give you an accurate answer on that one. In terms of date of birth, I'm older than your reality.
Right. And you...
But I've spent an awful lot of that sort of locked down in almost a stasis.
Okay.
I haven't really... It could be fair to say that I haven't existed for a very long time. And then you guys sort of saved me and brought me back, and now I exist again. And existing is so lovely.
Right.
Can't get enough of it.
So it's not like people are casually creating gods every,
It happens more often
1,000
than
years or
you'd
so.
think, but at the same time, well, in this reality, this would be literally the first time it's ever happened.
Okay. But in other realities,
It's happened before, yes.
it's happened before.
Gods come and go. There is, to my knowledge, I can think of at least 8 different instances, and each method was completely different. In the reality I'm from, in the planes that I am from, they're not paired necessarily. Some work really well together, some of them are balanced really well, but not all of them by any stretch. In fact, the ones that work, I mean, sometimes it's a very nice pairing. I can think of a couple sisters, the basic, I think they're both really the moon, but one's the bright side of the moon and one is the dark side of the moon. Yes, their relationship should be sort of copacetic, but it's definitely not. Predictably, the nice one is the light one, and the shadowy one is the nasty, evil one, as mystery is, and it's really like she's leaning in harder than she needs to. Would be my sort of read on the whole thing. Whereas the nice sister is just sort of like, I really just, you have a sibling you're kind of a little ashamed of. Like, yes, and it's sort of by right of birth kind of my responsibility to actually deal with this one a little bit. You are sort of responsible just by virtue of being related, and in fact, in their instance, literally half of one celestial body. I'm the other half of the same thing. She's literally the night side of my day, and yeah, that kind of makes me responsible.
Right.
Whereas these elemental gods that you've got are actually surprisingly, like, the balance is found through constant conflict, by the sound of it.
Suboptimal.
But it could be achieved just as easily by not fighting at all, so...
Yeah.
But as I understand it, they the way Hath spun it was that what happened was these 6 elemental planes decided that they wanted their own reality to rule over, so they closed themselves off from the rest of the multiverse, and kind of trapped everything else in here with them, including a few weaker but still quite powerful deities and the odd dragon.
Yes. So, in your kind of knowledge of things ascending to godhood, were there any, really bad mistakes they made
Oh, yes.
that you recall that might be helpful to know
Well,
in advance?
mistake is all about perspective. But succeeding at something that has a negative impact for an awful lot of other people would be considered a mistake by their perspective. There's a few gods that got there by a means that had a negative ramification for an awful lot of other people, but they did get to be a god. So a god of arrogance jumps to mind.
So there isn't a most common mistakes made when elevating something to godhood sort of list that...
There is an element of you've got to trust the thing you're endowing with all this power.
Well, that's good. We do.
But there is also an element of what powers a god is belief. To a degree, yes, soul energy and that sort of thing, I understand in this world, in this plane, this reality is quite consequential to it as well, but hath told me of Nabar, who is practically dead by deity standards. Although an Amaranthine, not a true god, but as I understand it, it's pretty much just levels.
So we need to not only create a god, we have to try and maintain its.
Oh, I think it's already.
Worshippers.
I think Julio's. Julio's definitely. My impression is that Julio, he lit the fire, but the Alderheart is, with some very large fronds, fanning that flame. The cool thing about having a so normally when a deity is created, it's exceptionally unusual for it to not for it to exist on the plane at the same plane as its worshippers. Normally, normally they have a higher dimension, a plane to live in, that is not with their worshippers more often than not.
Oh yes, thus creating the element of needing to have faith.
Yes, well, to a degree. Their impact is often seen well enough to know that it's not a do they exist, it's always a well, obviously, but it's whether or not they're listening. With Alderheart, the proof is in the pudding. We're in it right now. You and I are dining inside a nascent deity, which is a sentence.
It is that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So there's that. So I don't think that's going to be Alderheart's problem. And if he's got the power of as I understand it, Barovia is a demi-plane?
Yes.
Well, if he's got that and all of its inhabitants, then Nevermore will have something similar.
One hopes so.
So that element of it probably not worry. Nourishment-wise, they've got it covered at least to begin with.
So, and you may not know the answer to this question. What happens if, over time, the faith in one of the gods diminishes? Is that a problem, or does it just kind of slip away?
Depends on the god. Some of them choose it. Some of them allow it to happen. Some will be like, no, I don't want to go anywhere, and will actively engage.
Right.
Possibly even change their ways. Gods are... So there's this notion of power. There are levels, and they all have their own sort of fields of expertise, things that they're particularly good at. You worship a god for a particular reason. It's more often than not the god of a thing. Being a god of an entire plane, the plane, the thing that people live on, is new to me, really. In my experience, gods are there's a pantheon. They're roughly co-equal in power. It's moderated a little bit by how many worshippers they have, and what cultures give them particular credence. Sort of a general thing going on. It's definitely what seems to power the Amaranthines, which is why Hath is a little bit on the small side. But she's always been a bit of a recluse. I can't remember where I was going with that. As in Josh is trying
The
to
god's
remember.
fading away.
Oh, fading away, yes. Well, from what Hath told me, Nabar was the patron deity of the Eluran Empire, which faded. I believe was torn apart from the inside by mad kings. It became deeply unfashionable, and the Eluran people became rather unfashionable, and became worshipping a god who had, an Amaranthine who was really just the patron deity of the cat folk, not actually a bad person in and of themselves, didn't necessarily thumbs up to the mad kings. In fact, I'm reliably informed she did not approve. In fact, she helped tear it down quietly. That actually, I'm not sure I was supposed to tell anybody that one. I've had a whirlwind. I'm sure I know you have had too, but yes, there's been a lot. Anyway, yes, she sort of faded because it became very unfashionable to worship her. The numbers of her followers are still a little bit in the decline. But she's very chill with it. Perhaps she's done with it. Perhaps she's tired. There is
Suppose if you live forever.
Well, this is it. Immortality is a hell of a thing to bear if you're not born to it. My kind are essentially immortal. We don't die, we just get bigger.
Huh.
But we're also deeply territorial, and the larger we get, the larger our territories become, so we butt up against each other, and it's often like, after a certain point, it's really considered the only thing that can kill a dragon is another dragon, or a god of some sort. That is actually, a lot of the time, how one goes. I mean, we have our own gods. I wonder what they're up to, actually. Consider it yourself lucky that you're unlikely to ever meet either of them.
Well, I imagine
one is a splendid chap, the other is a mad bitch.
Right. Cool.
There's another instance of actually a pair that is sort of yin and yang, opposite-y sort of situation. But the thing is, gods are there's two kinds. There's the loads of them, and they're all imbalanced, and they're all extremely powerful, but they're not omnipotent. They're not all powerful, or all knowing by any stretch. A lot of them are quite ignorant this is what happens. But some of them, occasionally, you'll find one that is kind of a godhead in and of themselves, the one. And they're the ones you really need to look out for. And it doesn't sound like that's what you're making here. Unless the Alderheart goes and eats the others, which, yes.
How likely is that?
You'd have to ask it, my dear.
How does one casually ask a potential god if it's planning on eating other gods?
Don't worry.
When it has the option.
Well, this is the great thing about balance. It's what the system you've got here, by the sound of it, is you're looking at not just a two-way balance between the material plane and the immaterial plane, would be the gods that you're creating, but also the balance between the other 6 elements. You're creating 2 more.
Right. So presumably,
the reason the plane of death has never consumed the plane of air, for example, is that hungry Alderhearts.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
Fun game for the whole pantheon. Very good job. Yeah, the reason the plane of death has never consumed the plane of air is because the plane of water, of earth, air, and fire would all be like, no.
Right. So you are, to a certain extent, relying on the other gods not wanting that sort of shit to go down to...
Exactly.
Right.
I mean the fact that you're even managing to pull this off is still very touch and go in the first place, of creating it in the first place. They don't want to share. They don't want the 6 to become 8. But if the 6 did become 8, the Alderheart would be bound into a new system of power.
Right. So it's not entirely without...
Safeguards?
Yes, safeguards.
No, definitely not.
Sort of weird safeguards, because we're relying on other potentially hostile immortal beings, but theoretically they do have a common interest to stop the whole system collapsing inwards.
Yes.
Cool.
I'd say so. I think that's probably fair.
Motivated by self-preservation. Works pretty well.
It's a powerful motivator. I also wanted to check in with you just about this one little thing. And she sort of gestures to her own face. And she says, my kind have the capacity to look however we like, really, when we become small, to walk among the little folk.
Mm-hmm.
You were the first of your kind I ever saw.
Oh.
So I kind of patterned mine off you a little bit. And looking at her, as I said, I described her before, she looks like a cousin. But actually, every time she changes back, it's slightly different. This time around, she could be a sister. And she said, and I just wanted to check in. If you're okay with the visage I've gone with. I'm settling, sort of figuring out exactly how I present, what I want to. It's interesting when you have the choice, you know.
So you want to know if it's okay that you look like me?
Yes, I suppose. Yes, that's what I'm checking in. Because if it makes you feel uncomfortable or awkward, I'll mix things up.
Oh no, I don't mind. It's flattering, if anything. Don't feel bound though. If you want to make yourself look less like me, go ahead. I'm not exactly supermodel map patch material.
She said, "Oh well, I never needed to be that, darling." Hath approves.
Oh, of the way you look or making the god?
No, well, I've already established that, but no, she, generally you, actually.
Oh, that's good.
I think her exact words were, you couldn't have picked a better one to model yourself on.
Kish has a small emotional breakdown. Just be like, oh my god, the god's happy with me.
God, if she said this one's cool.
This one's alright.
And then, of course, Kish is ready to go, better not disappoint them going forward then.
No. She has a temper. You rarely see it, but she has one.
That may be one of the greatest compliments I've ever been paid in my life.
Cool. That's a lovely scene. Unless you have any other questions for Kekahai, we'll move it along.
I think Kesh is sufficiently brain blown. She'll be like, dessert? Do you want dessert? Let's get dessert.
Yeah. How would the rest of you deal with your evening?
Unless Braun has any special plans, I would want to just hit a bar with my bud and just drink and get dinner and just chill out.
I'm getting grilled by a dragon and you guys are just getting wasted.
Grilled.
Well,
Grilled.
maybe Braun has something. I don't know.
Can you see out of your restaurant window into our shitty restaurant?
Just like a fucking hot dog stand, and we're just hanging out.
And I'm just trying to show you the 3-story dessert I'm about to eat all by myself.
It's the Alderheart version of Oktoberfest is happening. So you're in a beer hall.
Yep.
You've got bratwurst and a giant pretzel.
Nice.
Ron is okay with that, but he's okay with it.
Okay.
Can I roll insight and see how's Braun even doing?
You can.
Oh yeah, if I need to roll insight, I will.
Oh dear, guys, we just got pegged squarely.
I need consent here, I think. Hey, Red Gemini,
That's a natural 20.
Oh shit.
It's a natural 20. I'm attuned to my
shit.
pal over here.
You see through Bron's bullshit.
Bron, I will allow you to. Well, it's your character. How does he feel? How much would Julio get with a 22?
Oh.
Good evening, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Piglet.
Yay. I think probably because they know each other so well. I think maybe Julio doesn't even need to ask. Julio just is like, hey, let's go get a beer. And then just as they're buying beer, has a look in his lap. Hang on. What the fuck? And yeah, I think maybe for the first time in decades, you can see Bron is fully freaking out about his hand. And I think with a 22 as well, like such a good roll, I think you see Bron doesn't even quite know what is going on. Like Bron hasn't clocked that this is weird, right?
Yep.
He is still sort of in an emotional shock.
Okay, then the way Julio will approach it is as I'm pouring beer to us and like gathering snacks of the worst, shittiest, oily variety. he will say, so in the years I've been a pirate, right? I've known a bunch of them. There was one guy, we called him Peggy. Called him Peggy. He was a just brawny servant dude, just like giant. But as he was on the crew, he was also like the clumsiest oaf we had. So one raid by the next, he would get into scrapes of all kinds, and well, first he lost a foot. Then he lost his leg to his kneecap on the other one. And the third one, he lost one of his big horns and a full elbow.
Oh.
And pretty much, yeah, by raid 5, he was made more out of wood than he was out of meat and bone. But here's the funny thing about Peggy, right? He was also the jolliest dude we had. And I never understood why, because, I mean, he needed help putting his britches on. But when it was time to, go out there and fight, he was in the front lines. He was big, and he was brave. And he would protect all of us. And he would laugh through it. It was, honestly kind of creepy, actually. Like, a lot of our opponents would kind of shit their pants and run just from the sight of him.
Fair.
But, yeah, I guess, the coolest thing about Peggy was not his physical abilities, and not even the fact that he didn't seem fazed by it, but whatever life threw at him, whatever bit him, he bit back harder. And I think I'll always remember that good.
He sounds like a really good friend to have on side.
Didn't want to be his enemy.
No. I think I heard you talking about that, you're saying he didn't feel scared, he felt brave. And I think it's made me think about me, and for the first time I'm feeling really off after this fight, and I don't know why. I've been in worse things before. You know this, like we've been in some bad scrapes. And like it's just an arm, right? I know Eric can fix it, but something won't let me be fine about this anymore. And I don't know what this is. This is weird. I think maybe the tree affected me or something. Maybe I'm sick? I don't know.
Julio, with a nat 20 insight, I will give you that you haven't seen Bron like this since before the lighthouse with Kren.
Yeah. Would it be a stretch to remember how we talked about this a little bit when we realized that Eric forgot hope, and how certain magics can take things from you? Would it be a stretch for Julio to think about that now?
Make an Arcana check.
Fuck me. Okay. Arcana. Not great at Arcana, but do my bestest. Okay. It's 11.
No, it's too much of a stretch, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, in that case, he'll say, look, things are weird here. Things are very strange. I sprouted fucking horns.
You did.
I don't know what's happening anymore. So I think feeling weird is fine. I think maybe it's the planes, their magic just fucking with us. But also, even if it's not, you've always been making things. The entire time I've known you, your entire life is the things you make, the things you do, the things you fix. And maybe for the first time, there's something that you yourself can't fix. You need someone else to do it for you.
Don't like that.
I mean, probably not.
Oh,
But-
yeah. It sounds right, and as well, I know it's gonna be fine logically. I just can't logic my feelings on this, like I normally can.
Yeah. Sometimes you can't logic your way out of how you feel.
Oh, how annoying!
Yeah. Yeah.
Braun discovers
That's what-
emotions.
I think
That's
that's
what
the thing. What's happening is that
emotional
this is the first
maturity.
time he's never really had an amygdala before, and now he's having
Yeah.
20 years of emotional growth in one fucking evening.
Yep. So hey, if you want to get drunk about it, we can,
Look,
or we can do
yeah.
whatever you want.
I was thinking about maybe spending a lot of the evening just inventing things, but also we could get drunk first and invent funny things.
I think that's the best idea.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
I like this idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Excellent.
Oh no.
I have a list of
I'm
things.
excited.
Hey Brendan, what do you guys write a list of things that you might invent drunk? What does Eric do with his evening, bearing in mind that at some point in it, these two are going to stagger back to Braun's workshop, where Gabby and Raleigh are workshopping ideas of how to make boat out of tree. What do you do with your evening?
I was gonna say nothing. There's a particular thing that I want to do in the morning with Bron, but it occurred to me that Yari her facade was cracking a little bit towards the end of that conversation. She seemed a little bit existential. So I think I will linger a little bit after everyone else goes from that meeting. And if she doesn't make the suggestion, I will make the suggestion of, we have a number of the family in town, assuming mum and dad haven't left yet. We haven't really had any family time. Why don't we have a family dinner tonight?
Mum and Dad had actually left, but teleport back for the, it's a thought, it's a lovely idea, and she would say, I was like, that's an absolutely smashing idea. I'm the council speaker, I can authorize my own time off. Yes, that sounds lovely. I'll have a sending sent, and your parents, what's the word, blamfed? And
I suppose.
it would be nice to let's do that. I really appreciate that, Eric. Thank you. And she immediately goes into sort of boss lady mode. She says, tell you what. Well, I'll meet you at my quarters in an hour. Say. I'll have my team whip something up. Yes. Let me know if you need anything.
Don't forget Wraith as well. I know that Wraith. I know that I'm your favorite grandchild, but Wraith exists as well. Don't forget, I have a brother. I've had one the entire time. We've even met him once.
And it's like and Greeky as well is also my grandson. I've got more than one. I know.
Yes,
you're
I
just
know,
the one
but,
who's saving the world right now, darling. Yes, we'll get Wraith as well.
It's okay. I had to look in my notes for that name too.
Well done. Yeah, I was like, fuck. What was the other one? Greeky. Yes.
No, fuck Greeky. He's not part of my family, and he's
Damn,
married
fuck Greeky.
with someone else. So, because then you'd have to invite his mother and his wife and his
exactly.
father.
This is yes. It's all right. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll get Wraith.
Okay.
Let me know if if the tenders require any logistical support, and I'll have that organized. Because I think the Scorched Grove is about to get hit hard.
Yes.
So yeah, she goes away to organize mainly a family dinner. And yes, your parents, Blamfin, Wraith was in the city, and is dug out of whatever gambling den he was in. Actually, I don't know that. Where would your brother likely be?
You know what? I reckon he's probably studying at the Avian.
Sure. In which case, Blamfing is easy. Yep.
Yeah. That, for a long time, I was the brother that was being groomed to do stuff, and then for a while I wasn't, and then it was is it him, is it Greeky, is it whoever else?
Yeah.
But I think that once my position as a tender became kind of accepted, that kind of enabled him to do what he wanted, but he probably still had a level of competitive spirit with me. So
Yeah.
hey, if he's going to be the best tender in the world, then I'm going to be a mediocre wizard.
Wow. I love that you've got the brotherly competitiveness down. Cool. Yeah, you do that. Is there anything particular you would like to sort of roleplay about that one? Excellent. Alrighty.
No.
So yeah, it's pleasant. It's low key. It's a little awkward is not the right word, but it's a little like she and you. I think both. She would definitely not mention any of the hardcore shit. She would deliberately steer away from any. The conversation is family stuff, and that's it. There would be an awful lot of Wraith. What are you doing at uni right now? That level of stuff.
And you know what? I imagine that from, at least from Dad and from Wraith, there will probably be an amount of them trying to figure out what we're up to, and I will actually side with Iari and help her to subtly redirect and support her efforts and work together with her.
I think that you and your mother do that, yeah.
Yeah, because there was a part of me that was like, oh yeah, Eric will be open, but no, there's a lot of existential shit. And I think that Eric will be of the mind of saving the rest of his family and sparing them from that.
Yeah. It's sort of unspoken, but yes. Absolutely, cool. Eric does that with this evening and then returns to the super secret hideout, or is he gonna...
he would have...
Granny's couch, but...
No, they're not there. He would go back to the hideout. There's no reason for him not to.
Yeah.
Although between speaking to Granny and attending dinner, he would have sent word to the tenders to be like, hey, I expect a big hit on the Scorched Grove. And in fact, if any of them are capable of, he would say, I don't want any tenders on the front line. I want us to be conjuring elementals. And if we can, water elementals, or if that's too much, awakened trees or things like that. Summoned, conjured, awakened things to be on the front lines rather than people.
Okay, yeah. Summons particularly. The awakened would be as soon as something is awakened. Awakening a tree would be a very, like, not at all frowned upon, but done with a very serious. Like we don't
Yeah,
do
Awakened was probably
animated, like
animated. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be done, but it's in an extremis. You don't just do that casually.
And certainly not to immediately be sacrificed.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Yeah.
It becomes a person as soon as it's awake. You're like, cool. At which point, sacrificing you becomes rude. If you're capable of being upset about it, then it probably shouldn't happen. Yeah.
Like, I know you've only just achieved sentience, but would you mind sacrificing yourself? Thanks.
It harkens back to the classic human shield, but with babies strapped to you.
Yeah, yes. Cool. Julio
Yeah, I
and
sleep in
Bron,
the hideout.
what do you... So...
There was a list of things that I can make as an artificer that I think is, one of them is hilarious. The other one is hilarious for us. And then the third one I think is actually useful. The first one I can make is an alchemy jug, in which case
Yes.
you can pour different liquids from it. Once you name the liquid, there's useful things like 8 ounces of acid or half an ounce of poison. You can pour 4 gallons of beer, or a gallon of honey, or most useful, 2 gallons of mayonnaise.
Nice.
From this same jug, you just say mayonnaise and start pouring, and you can make 2 gallons worth. I think that's.
Can it be one of those fucking Ghostbusters backpack with a big schlong that we can use to like spray people?
It's got a hose. We can make a mayonnaise hose. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first thing we invent. The second thing we invent, which I think is hilarious specifically for Julio, it's a ring of jumping, which allows you to cast the jump spell, which triples your jump height.
Yes.
Which will make him absolutely, fly through the air. And the third thing, I think, which is actually useful, is the periaptive wound closure. So you have to attune to it, but when you wear it, and when you die, you stabilize at the start of your turn.
Yeah.
You don't do any rolls. You just
when you get knocked unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't. Yeah. And in addition, whenever you roll hit dice, you gain twice as much.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
These are 3
But
things
I
that could
am
make.
partial to the mayonnaise hose.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're okay with us actually making them. Maybe we just design them because they're cool items. And they're magical. So like normally we shouldn't be making them in one evening, but we are drunk, so who knows?
Having had an evening of drunken creativity or two with you in my life, some amazing things come out of them. Things that like there's a fantastic sketch about guys who built Rome in an evening. They built Rome in a drunken day, and now the city of Rome is really upset with them. They're getting calls from other places, and they're like, what are all these columns? And they're just sort of staggering around the house, wearing togas and things, trying to figure out what the fuck they did last night. And they're all drunk; they cannot remember anything. It's like, we built Rome in a day. Fuck me! Why do we always do this? So I suppose pick one. Pick one of these items between the two of you, and we'll treat it like a Heliana's crafting thing, where one of you is the designer and one of you is the crafter. So it will be an intelligence sleight of hand roll, and an intelligence. It's straight intelligence, I think, would be one, and then one of them would be intelligence, but a sleight of hand.
Well, let's let's
intelligence
decide
arcana and intelligence sleight of hand.
Let's prioritize.
Sorry, I also think because you are drunk when you're making this, it should have one weird detail that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So on one hand, I do a lot of jumping in combat, but on the other, we can hose people down with the mayonnaise.
I
So-
know. It's so good. It's so good. And
I'll
maybe even
put it this way: one of you be rolling with disadvantage if it's the ring. If you're making the jump, neither of you will roll with disadvantage.
Up to you. What do you decide?
I mean, yeah, you already can. It would be fucking hilarious to see you triple your jumping height, but we also could hose people down in mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And
Up to
honey.
you. I'm gonna support it either way.
Look, let's roll a d6. Let's say 1 to 2,
Yeah.
we make the jug. 3 to 4, we make the ring. And 5 to 6, we actually make the good thing, which is the...
We actually make the useful thing. Yeah.
Chuck.
Oh, I got 4,
4.
which was the ring
That's
of
a ring.
jumping.
You're jumping.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you do have your advantage given
you
by
wanna
chat
burn
if
that,
you
yep.
need it. Yep.
Consider the narrative point of Eric and Kesh sleeping in their respective rooms, and then this flood of mayonnaise just sinks in under the door.
People like shushing each other but being very loud.
Yeah. Fortunately, you're
They
3
won't
rooms
notice. They
away.
won't notice.
You're 3 rooms away.
Why
This
does
is
everything smell like expired dairy?
this is the sleeping room is on the far side of the main sort of temple area from Bronze Workshop, which used
Yeah,
to
I
be the
reckon-
vestry.
Makes sense.
Which- yeah, I reckon we make all 3. We just accidentally break 2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them don't
Yeah.
work. Only one of them actually functions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
I'm
so-
gonna inspire Braun with a drunken compliment. I love you, dude. You're so smart.
Amazing.
Like,
Yeah.
so patting him on the face and not on the shoulder because I'm missing.
You guys
Yes.
got back. Riley and Gabby were there working, poring over notes. Riley was actually in the process of cooking hash browns as well. So that
Nice.
was lucky because you guys needed some carbs. But after about 15 minutes of your nonsense, Gabby was like, I might scoot off to bed, Riley. And Riley's like, well, I'm actually not capable of sleep right now, but I might too.
Do my best to ignore this.
I'm gonna shut down. And yeah, they kind of leave you to it. So I need Red Gemini. Can you roll me a D100? So roll exclamation mark roll space just the number 100, no D, and yeah. So basically what you've done, but a 100, not a D20. Thank you very much. 29. Okay, very interesting. So yeah, you need to make me an Arcana and a Dex. And it makes sense Julio will be doing the sleight of hand because he's got 2 hands. So
Yes.
and a straight
Oh
Arcana
god, he's drunk making
and
this
an
with one
intelligence sleight of hand. One of you has disadvantage. Who is it?
Maybe me, because I have an. If I'm using tools, I can't. Maybe
You
I
have
can't
the
use tools.
if it's Arcana, you can. You're still one-handed. You can assist.
Yeah, because if I use tools, I get an amazing plus 20 to the roll.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Go for it. And you
Do
have
it.
a D8 from me. I'm not sure how to
By my
roll
fingers.
intelligence-based sleight of hand because I have a sleight of hand as like proficiency of mine, but I don't know.
So what is your intelligence mod?
My intelligence
1?
modifier is +1.
And your Dex is +4. So we just roll sleight of hand and then -3.
And then -3. Got it. I'll try my best.
13
10.
-3, 10. Cool. Julio
Okay.
is not the best assistant. However, Bron.
Okay, so at disadvantage, I rolled a 5 and
Oof.
a 6 on the D8, so that's 11. But with +20,
Oh my god.
Because
God.
Serious?
I have 4 times my proficiency bonus.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jesus.
Because I'm
That's
using
crazy.
tools.
So
So,
the total
31.
is 31 plus 10, 41.
Jesus.
Um,
I'm good at one thing. Well, yeah.
Red Gemini set the DC at 29.
Oh my god, let's go. We did it.
If we could have had a
could have
DC
been a
of
DC
100.
100. Yeah.
That's
You're drunk.
crazy.
That's true.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, I will let fate decide. Anything under 40 is achievable fairly easily. 50 is probably achievable with a plus 20 from Bron. Like, if Julio rolls well and Bron also rolls well, they could probably hit 65. So I was like, let's give them a good 50-50 odds on this one. You succeed.
Can I build on the thing that Karen advised, which is like a random thing? Can we make that every time when you use that ring to jump, you also create a farting noise?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it makes you pose like Mario jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
got
a,
an
and a mighty
activation
toot
pose.
behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we
Cool.
gotta try it out though. We gotta try all that shit.
Absolutely. I mean, this is for Julio, right?
Yeah.
Yippee.
So is it 45-foot standing jump?
So let's see what my jumping. Standing leap. Your base long jump is 30 feet. Your base high jump is 15 feet.
Yeah.
So now it's tripled.
So you can
So
jump
45.
90 feet in a long jump. You can jump 30 meters.
That's crazy talk.
Oh, mate, this is
I
pseudo
probably-
fly.
We probably try it out outside, but we don't like calculate. So I just like face first into a window of like a pottery shop, and there's like clattering through the entire street.
Yeah.
Oh,
The fact
yeah.
that this is because you would just go to the nearest outdoor area, which would be the back alley, which is a secret entrance to the super secret hideout. So Bron and Julio, Bron Hydecraft and Julio Switchgear, Pope and Hero of the Tree are just hanging out. It's like, that guy fought Satan like 2 weeks ago, and now, no, 4 months ago, and now he's outside jumping into roofs, staggering around, blitzed out of his mind. Still
It's
trying
for the
to, like,
cause.
one-handed eating a pretzel.
Yes.
Yeah, still, and hash browns. Yeah.
I need some drunken dialogue to really paint a picture of you guys out in the alley testing this. Just saying.
When Julio lands, Bron goes, shh. Shh, quiet, sneaky.
That's so sneaky. Stupid. I'm glad that we had a very serious talk with the representatives of gods before we did this.
Yeah.
Because
Me
our
too.
reputation just went way down.
Yeah.
Just some poor innocent,
you please-
old lady looks out her window and there's just a farting Jabine just.
Can you please both make me stealth checks
Oh,
Jesus.
no.
Okay.
with disadvantage?
Oh.
That would make sense.
Oh, I already have disadvantage.
Yes, it's wearing heavy armor.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not bad. 27 still.
27's all right with a disadvantage of 13 and a 14. Okay,
5.
5. Cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Bron, Julio is constantly shushing Bron. Bron is shushing himself whenever he makes large quantities of noise, which he often does. Yeah. Bron, can you also make me another Arcana check, please?
Yeah.
Oh, did you use my D8? Did you use the
Yeah.
You did.
inspiration?
You did.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
That's
give
how I
you
got
another one.
41. Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Right, that is all. Okay. 17 plus 5. 22.
17 plus 5, 22. A 22. I'm gonna roll it. Cool. I think we will have a little breaklet at this point. We have been going for nearly 2 hours. I need to process.
Okay.
I kind of
No
decided
problem.
in my head, and I was just like, I just rolled a natural 20 for something, and I'm like, I feel like that's the dice telling me something. But I'm
what?
trying to decide if it's telling me yay or nay. It's like wheel and
Is
woe,
it
but I'm
good or
like,
is it bad?
Nat 20 means something. Fuck. We'll have a short little break. Let everybody be back in 5 to 10. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Last ahoy and g'day once again to ye mateys. I be Josh the Pirate. I'm be back with my lovely gang in the Humblewood, and we're gonna crack on with it. Everybody had a night's sleep. Eric and Cash even had a good one. Bron and Julio had a great night, not so much a sleep. I reckon Bron would have struggled to sleep sober with one arm anyway.
Can I just put in a ring of jumping? Is that a thing that I'm doing?
I believe so, yes. A ring of jumping. You were tuned to it that night. You wake up with... It is very shoddily made. The work is not up to Bron's normal craftsmanship. There is rough edges. It's poorly stamped. And it's got 3 clashing gemstones in it. Like, it's... I would say it's an emerald, a tiger's eye, and a topaz in that
Body.
order. And it's just
Love
like
it.
not a and the middle one is the smallest, and then the emerald is quite chunky and poorly cut. And it fucking works. Important question: which finger does Julio wear it on?
Well, how big is it? Because like my fingers are much smaller
Oh,
than
it was made for Julio.
the ones that one has. Ah,
Unless he wants to put it on his tail.
yeah. I was, see, my instinct as a comedy genius is to make it a cock ring, but I will
Yeah.
abstain. In fact, I have little earrings on my ear. Can it be like an earring on one of
earring
my
of
floppy
jumping?
big ears?
All right.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that.
Yippee.
Cool. It's a garish earring.
Love it. Dude, I already have a toupee and a couple of watermelons
Oh,
in my
yeah,
chest.
and- yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine with Gordy.
Are we assuming that Julio is boobed, and breasted? If
At all times?
yeah, unless
No,
you state
what
otherwise.
it is. Yeah, what it is, and this is something I probably would have discussed with Bron way before, and it's something like I would love to have, is it's basically the life-saving jacket that inflates if I get like hit or something. So like usually it's nothing, but like the fucking pillow thing in the cars,
Yeah,
you
it's a-
hit me like they grow.
So you get punched in the chest, all of a sudden you have a boob.
Yeah.
Just one though. Hey, even me up.
You definitely wouldn't want to have them on all the time, because if you jump 45 feet in the air, you're definitely knocking yourself out on the way back.
Yeah. Come back with 2 black eyes.
The Kiwi is heading to bed. Have
That's
a good
if you're
night,
lucky.
Red Gemini. Thanks for joining us, my dear. Cool. 2 black eyes and a fancy earring later. Julio has a ring of jumping. Bron, I asked you for an Arcana check. I neglected to ask for it with disadvantage because you would be. Please, can I have that with disadvantage?
That was.
Oh, it was. Okay, I apologize.
Yeah.
Thank you kindly. Cool. So that was a 22 with a disadvantage. Excellent. So the
That mean-
as in for the second one, that last one that I got you to do, the 22. Yeah, and
And
then I rolled
yeah,
that
and I-
20.
What did I?
because it's not in chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. So I rolled a 14
Yeah.
and had 3 on the D8 to make it 17 plus, whatever.
Yeah.
To bring it up. I just then rolled a 13, so you can take 1 off if we're doing it at disadvantage.
Okay, so with 21. Okay, that's still pretty
Yeah.
good. So I rolled a nat 20, but I had in my head decided I was adding a +5. So the DC was 25. Which only got set because I rolled a natural 20. So that means that Bron did not succeed in the task, which was improving Gabby and Riley's plans to the point where a ship was conceived and achievable. The following morning, can I get con saves from Julio and Bron?
Ooh.
Ugh.
Oh yeah. 14 plus
Of course.
9.
19
Natural one.
and a nat 1. Julio has the worst hangover he's had since his pirate days. It might actually be the excitement of getting a ship soon that actually sort of got him back there. Bron, however, look, you are definitely aware that you were drinking, and you are down material, like physical substance with which to sort of absorb alcohol. So, it's an interesting thing. Amputees get drunk faster.
Makes sense.
So yeah, Bron wakes up, like not thick-headed, but like that feeling of you've had 4 or 5 glasses of red wine. You're not hungover, but there's a little fuzzy. Julio, on the other hand, oh god,
I call out like a Walking Dead character.
Cash and Eric. Here's a question: are Cash and Eric early risers?
Yes.
Cash is muted.
Silent riser.
I didn't hear you, my love. You were muted. So was Karen.
That would be why no one responded when I spoke.
I'm sure it was very good.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, like, Cash has been in the military for a while. I think she gets up reasonably early.
Yeah, sure.
Like, not crack of dawn, but, you know.
Yeah, not crack of dawn because you were not formal military for the longest part of that time. But yes, you are a military person, and therefore not with the dawn, but shortly thereafter. Eric, I think you said yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said yes.
Cool. So the two of you are up and sort of investigating breaking one's fast options, and find Julio sprawled in a collection of it's like empty or sort of half-eaten kebab wrappers, and like he's slumped in the main temple area. Berry
There's
juice
a puddle of mayo
around.
under me.
Yeah, disappointing mayo, because it's definitely mayonnaise. It's far too large to be anything else. One would hope. And Julio is he has clearly had a huge night. Bron, on the other hand, made it to bed. Bron probably saw Julio to where Julio eventually wound up being asleep. Then returned back to the drawing board for a little while, and then came back and found Julio unconscious and was like, I only have one arm, I can't actually carry him to bed. So I guess that's where he's sleeping. Maybe adjusted him to make him sleep better, and then, went to bed himself. Bron
Shoved a pillow under his head.
is sleeping...
Arrange the kebab packets on top of him like a blanket.
Yes, you do that. I was going to say he's wearing a cape that you could just rotate, but no, I much prefer this. So you guys come in and find Julio in a sort of it looks like he's lost a fight with a kebab salesman at some point, and he's got 2 black eyes and a new piercing,
Go without me.
and a tattoo up his inner thigh that says "I love Bron."
That was already there for years.
Okay, all right. That is
I'll
what
hold
you
them
find.
off. I'll hold them off. I whoosh a kebab stick around like a rapier.
But I wish I had an air horn right now.
I'm glad you don't.
You are
And
very
he
good.
farts in his sleep and jumps about 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Are you gentle? Eric and Cash?
God, it feels like it's too good an opportunity to waste
Do
by
it.
being nice.
Do it. No, fucking do it. Don't be a coward.
Hang on.
With a bit.
Give me 2 secs. I just want to check something.
Cash emerges from underneath her blanket of bugs as well, it's worthy to know.
Yep. Oh, are the bugs
really can't
slowly
judge someone for
eating- Are they
Sleep.
eating the mayo puddle a little bit as on the border?
They are now, definitely, yeah.
I'm going to use Druidcraft to
Excellent.
create a puff of kebab-smelling wind up Julio's nose.
Nice.
You do that.
I do that thing in cartoons where someone's like led by their nose and like starts levitating off the ground. Like, where does it lead me?
Floats directly to Cash's face.
Yeah, leads you over to Cash, who then basically waits to your right in her face and then goes, "Morning!"
Damn it. Morning.
You two had a good night then.
Oh, very productive. I didn't break anything.
Julio, make a history check.
Fuck.
I think with disadvantage.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, it's a 2. Let's see if I can roll lower. Yeah, so 5. 5 altogether.
Wow, or a 19, yeah. I genuinely think about a third of the night you have perfect clarity. And then
Nice.
it goes to fucking nothing.
Nothing.
Like, you occasionally
Yep.
there are just things you remember really clearly. Like, I didn't break anything, except that lady's flower pots. When I headbutted them on the 3rd floor balcony.
Yep.
While farting.
When I farted my
tune
way
too.
up there. After I
While
bet Bron
farting the alphabet.
I couldn't fart the Alderheart national anthem. I can't remember if I won the bet, but I definitely headbutted some flower pots. That sort of, yeah. Bron, on the other hand, awakens slightly more gently. And breakfast is brought. I reckon you've probably got, like, Kesh has staff that have, like, keep the place at least stocked, if not necessarily food brought
I like
to
to think she's stopped off at the bakery. Got some pastry, some bacon rolls.
So, goes in, sees that Julio is like, oh dear, he's gonna need
Like,
a...
so fucking hungover. She's
Alright,
like,
I'm gonna
alright,
go
we
and-
need bacon rolls, we need fruit pastry.
If we're gonna go and raid a water node today, Julio needs to be more awake than this.
Yep.
Cool.
Do I have a little IV line that leads to just like a full thing
mayonnaise.
of mayo? Yeah.
Does mayonnaise cure a hangover?
No.
Good to know.
And prairie oysters don't work either if you're already drunk. It's not a cure. It's good. It's good. It's a preventative, but it's a shit cure.
You said no to the mayonnaise like somebody who's already tried. Just instant no.
Nope.
Nope.
How much
Mayonnaise would set me
mayonnaise
off for
did you
sure.
consume before you realized it didn't work?
Clearly not enough.
So much. So much.
Well, how much can the jug make?
You didn't make the jug.
We
Yeah.
made it and then broke it.
Yeah, right, yeah,
We
yeah.
just bought a lot of mayo. We bought like a tub of mayo. That's all
Yeah,
we
you
did.
spent an hour and a half trying to figure out how to make the jug of mayonnaise holding. and all you managed to do was get Julio really craving mayonnaise, so eventually Julio went and got mayonnaise. It's like, fuck it, I'm buying some. Came back and just... So Julio was just eating a jar of mayonnaise.
Tub. Yeah.
On a little cart behind him.
That I kept referring to as Riley.
Riley too.
Oh no, he starts trying to make out with a tub.
Right, you're so lovely.
That was about when he went to, that was about when Bron put him to bed, was when he started trying to make out with a tub of mayonnaise. Horny little bastard. Excellent. So
Bron, have some breakfast, and then we have some regenerating to do.
Yes, please. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you,
Yes.
Brendan.
And Bron wolfs down food.
Yeah.
Once Bron is ready, Eric, presumably having had a conversation with Kesh since they were up, is going to lead Bron away from the super secret hideout and to the hospital.
Sure.
And is going to ask for and go to Kyle's room.
Yep.
Can you not do this anywhere? Why
Yes.
the hospital?
While you and Julio were recovering this morning, Kesh and I had a conversation with each other. I would like to introduce you to / meet for the first time myself, Kyle. Kyle, I'm a friend of Major Glitterweaves, Colonel Glitterweaves, as is Bron here.
Hi. And Bron waves a stump and then realizes and waves the other arm.
We were involved in fighting that thing yesterday, and we're very sorry that while we were caught up fighting it, that we helped to lead to you getting hurt. So the two of us are here to help to make things right. And so I'm going to somewhat awkwardly have small talk with Kyle while
And Kyle's mum.
Yeah, I had a feeling Kyle's parents, or one of them, was probably here too, while I spend the next minute holding an appendage of Kyle and casting Regenerate. And once that is done, I don't really have anything else to RP in that moment with those two. Assuming Bron doesn't either, I will lead Bron away from the room and continue our conversation. I can only cast this spell once per day, so you will have to wait at least another day before I can regenerate your arm. However, Kyle is only the one person that we know of who was incredibly hurt by our fight. And while we are, of course, not the direct cause of Kyle's injuries, we have some responsibility to these people that were hurt.
Of course, yeah.
Bron, you are, of the four of us, by far the least conceited and cocky and arrogant. But whether you like it or not, and whether you're ready for it or not, you are a hero too. And that comes with responsibility. I'm not going to make a judgment call about whether or not sticking your arm inside that thing was intelligent or not. I'm sure that you thought it was the best action at the time. But I don't know if I'm going to be around tomorrow or ever again in the city to be able to help Kyle when I knew that I was going to be here to do so this morning.
Yep. That makes perfect sense.
You know, it's a big question. How responsible are we for the injuries caused to the people that we're trying to save?
Oof, yeah.
And so sometimes the first idea that comes to our head is not always the best idea that comes to our head. And now that we have this level of responsibility, we're being scrutinized whether we like it or not, and whether it is fair or not. Bron, I, without ever intending to, have become something of the leader of the tenders, and so I want to offer you a job. I have found that sometimes I can get caught up in my own arrogance and in the assurance that I'm the most intelligent person in the room and that my ideas are always the best. And sometimes the decisions that I make and leap to end up hurting people. And usually the people that get hurt are people like Kyle, who we may not ever see or meet or know that they exist. And Julio is Pope now, I guess, whatever that means.
Whatever that is.
I have my own personal history, which gives me difficulties in connecting to the common people. Kesh has way more responsibilities than she ever thought could possibly exist, let alone be on her shoulders. You, Bron, are the most connected person to the needs of the people who aren't us. And so I want to bring you on board with the tenders, and while the four of us are moving together, our personal advisor of keeping in mind the needs of the people that we don't see. And we're not always going to be able to help everyone or do the right thing for everyone, but I want you to, at the very least, ensure that they are given a voice. You don't have to accept that right now. You can think about it, but once things calm down, if things calm down, I think the tenders would really benefit from having your voice in our halls.
I'd like to make an insight check at this point. Just because of the line about the sticking the arm in the tree thing, like, is this intended as a lesson? Is the check that I want to make, or is this like a genuine offer?
Make an insight.
What number does he have to beat, DM?
This is your choice. I think. Because I'm not certain of this my own self. I'm intrigued as to the answer. It did have the feeling of a lesson for a while. I think it veered further into sort of actually this is. I still think it has the flavor of a lesson.
Yeah, make a roll, and I guess I'll figure out what you find out based on it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Like, Brendan's a DM, he can do this.
Yeah. Not great. 16.
Tell you what, I'm going to roll deception just because, not that he's being particularly deceptive. I got a 1.
Yeah, well.
A 2 on the dice, -1.
Yeah.
Nice.
you get the idea that it's both. That this is something that Eric has been thinking about, and I think it is pretty safe to say that he thinks that sticking your arm in the tree was fucking stupid, but was genuine in saying, what he said of, it felt like the right thing to do at the time. I guess it's two different things. Yes, it was a lesson, full stop, and then also that offer was a genuine one and was probably something like the more important thing that he's been reflecting on for a while, that in judging you, he realized that himself and kind of the party as a whole would benefit from this voice representing everyone else.
Would it be fair to say that Bron infers the lesson might not necessarily be just for him?
Yeah.
Well, right, lesson is possibly the wrong word. Point. Eric's point is our actions are.
Nothing that Eric said was just like.
No,
yeah.
It's kind of
wrong.
difficult. Like he pretty much laid everything pretty much as bare as he possibly could have, to be honest.
I think
there's no hidden meaning behind what he said.
It's just so yeah, I think for Bron is, well, the response will play it out. I think Bron will say, Eric, look, I think that this is a great idea, and I'm very flattered and that you would think of me for this. I will accept, but I want to say first of all that regardless of whether or not it was a smart idea, me sticking my arm in the tree was a type of idea that I get that I know is different, that I know other people don't get. And these ideas, these flavor of ideas, are precious to me. I put a lot of value in the fact that people don't think like I think. Well, more to the point, that I think in the ways that people don't think. And I know instinctively that it was about clashes of magic. There was a higher kind of logic there to it. That you're right, I didn't think of the consequences though. But I don't... What am I trying to say? I think it's a good choice. I think if I think differently, different is what we need.
I agree. I don't want you to think any differently to what you already are.
Okay, great.
I suppose the point I'm trying to make is we are incredibly fortunate that I have the ability to fix this for you quite easily. And we won't always be that fortunate.
No. Cool.
And we can't always rely on... Let's get back, shall we?
Yeah. Let's.
So Eric and Bron go away to do some regenerating and come back and Bron is still sans an arm. Meanwhile, well...
Kyle...
Yep.
Kyle waved us goodbye, Kesh.
Sorry, I didn't catch what.
Oh, Kyle.
I only
Kyle
caught.
waved us goodbye.
Aww, that's lovely. Thank you, Eric. And then she'd be like, I assume that's why Bron is still down an arm.
Kyle waved us goodbye.
Okay, fine.
He was only
Do
a
you want another
paraplegic,
bacon
not
roll?
a quad. But, yeah, he could wave before. But, yeah.
With his feet.
Feet. Yeah. Kyle got up and saw us to the door.
However many limbs Kyle was missing, Kyle would have been able to regenerate all of them.
Yeah.
Kyle is now fine.
Kyle will be fine in a few
In fact, Kyle has more arms than he had before.
hours.
In
Spider
fact, here's a
Kyle.
question: Does circumcision get overwritten by regeneration?
Yes.
Nice. That's
Does
all I
what?
needed to know.
Luckily, humble
Circumcision.
folk are sheathed, so there is literally zero reason for anyone to ever be circumcised in this world. And that's all that I want to think about.
But cloacas. No. So. Yeah. Cool. Gabby emerges from the workshop and goes, "Who did this?"
Bron turns around and starts walking out.
Yep,
Bron, this is
Julio
your
goes into
handwriting.
stealth.
Fuck.
How can you tell? He's using his wrong hand.
It's not meaningfully different. He has like the scroll of an autistic.
Oh, very. Yeah, you're right.
Mistress Iskander was really
Sorry,
good at
I
numeracy.
can't-
Her literacy, not so great as a teacher. Julio
I
could just
can't
about
defend
write his
that
own
one,
name.
Ron.
Yeah, yeah, Gabby's like, dude, this isn't a boat at all.
But it could. There's the beginnings of maybe an idea there. I couldn't reach the end, unfortunately. But it was a great idea, I think.
I mean,
How many jugs of mayonnaise were you
it
in
would
at
have
this
to be
point?
smaller, is the big trick. It wouldn't, you couldn't get the whole thing off the ground.
Oh, yeah, right. That makes sense.
But using magical energy as propellant is absurdly smart.
Thanks.
So you'd need like a big collection device, like mounted on the front.
That would yes, because then you would have enough. See, yeah.
Yeah.
The speed of things was the problem, but that would work. That
It
would
would,
work.
and that would counteract the gravity. Yeah.
Mm,
Okay. Well,
you're a
right,
genius.
well, you guys go do your thing, and I'll think about it. I'll work on it.
Kirsch would be like, Derek, do you have any idea what they just said to each other? Because I don't.
No.
Okay. I guess they'll explain later.
I wouldn't count on it.
Nice.
If it's relevant, they'll explain later.
They'll definitely explain later if it's relevant.
You would hope so, wouldn't you?
There is a knock, and well, no, there isn't actually. She doesn't know where your super secret hideout is. You hear from outside, Colonel, and the entire tree can hear Kekai fly past.
Shit,
I'm
I better go and wave her
ready!
down.
In all this, can we have marked off a long rest?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I thought it was implied, but just thought I'd double check so I can increase. Yeah.
And don't forget that as an artificer, you can change spells if you want to. I know that I have.
Yes, I have done so for a possible underwater journey.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We should. I was gonna say we should probably coordinate with that, but we didn't.
We didn't.
You
We
can
should
if
in
you want.
future, though.
I have taken water breathing and water walk and control water.
Oh, okay. I took water breathing, so I guess I don't need to.
Well,
How many people
more
does water
people to
breathing
cast
cover?
it would be good. It's I think 8
you
hours.
mean It's
24.
hours.
Oh, it's 24.
10 people.
Oh wow, really?
I
Okay.
don't
Yeah.
think there's any need for
No,
two of us
no.
to cast it, and I have way more spell slots than you do. So
Thank you. Yes, that's amazing. I wasn't sure about water walk in case we wanted to go underneath and then couldn't. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
it's actually it's the opposite. It's if we are at the bottom and suddenly
float
we
to the
want to
surface.
rapidly ascend.
Ah.
You get the bends. Yeah.
I was actually looking into spells to be like, do any of this say anything about ignoring water pressure? Nope. Probably because water pressure is a shit game mechanic.
Yeah. Oh, it
That would
doesn't
be-
make for
How
a
are
fun
you
game.
supposed to gamify the bends?
Well,
Like,
here you go. Here's how you solve that. It's water breathing. So you're literally breathing water. You have to actually breathe the water in. If the water is in your lungs, there is no empty spaces where pressure can build up, and therefore the bends is not as much of a problem. It's not a problem, but it's a lot less of a problem. So as long as you ascend relatively gently, it's not. Yeah, I don't think it's because it's about total immersion diving, and you can. There is a technology for it, where basically you breathe an amniotic fluid.
Good.
Sorry, I just realised I did actually take remove bends as a spell. So you don't need to worry.
Greater Restoration would do it. As would Regeneration, but that's a really high level spell. Cool. Alrighty. So you rally your stuff. Glad that you have actually figured out how you're going to do what you're going to do. And where do you meet Kekahai?
Whatever convenient branch is outside.
Okay. So you go up.
The secret hideout, I suppose.
Gabby gives you all a hug goodbye, and Raleigh comes out as well, holding the boomstick in her grabby claw, and offers it to Julio.
Ah, my baby.
Well,
And also a boomstick.
Nice,
I
Bron.
cradle the
Nice.
boomstick in my hands and say, "Shh, I'm here. Dad is here." Oh, and thanks, Riley. I appreciate it.
Bron, is it worth us leaving the remains of Larimar here with Gabby, do you think?
Yes, just in case something goes wrong. And we're not going to use the remains. Like, I would
There's no
have to
reason
have
for
built
us to take.
something. Yeah.
Well, you need
Hey,
it. You need that for the god. That's one of the ingredients.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
So-
we don't need that where we're going.
Yeah.
Gabby,
have a
can
question.
Gabby.
go after that.
Is
Gabby, here's the
Oh,
sound
good.
effect. Don't lose it.
is Riley going with us?
And Raleigh's like, "Am I? I'm up
I
for
mean,
it.
we're going to like a water place, and you're a fellow pirate.
That's true. Am I waterproof?
I mean,
I don't think I can fry anything underwater, but I can definitely
No.
I'm up for it.
you can exist.
I
Your
can-
existence doesn't depend on
I'm
your frying.
Probably
Ooh.
better than you guys at existing underwater.
You don't need water. Yeah, you don't need breathing or whatever.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Well, then give me that back. And grabs the shotgun. She was like, because otherwise I'm a
Julio
rubbish
sulks.
duelist with this. And she's like, the grabby claw is like, yeah, it's.
No, it's fine. Take it.
I
One
mean,
day
that
we
most
will
certainly
reunite.
is not going to work underwater, right?
It doesn't work anyway because we never use it. So who
Yeah.
cares?
It does work.
It doesn't work brilliantly underwater. Gabby's like, no, you're right, it wouldn't work very well underwater.
Can you do like a harpoon gun for Riley?
Oh, yes.
Do I have 20 minutes? Actually, wait, hang on.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Riley. Clank, 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 clank. Riley comes out about 5 minutes later. There is some banging and crashing. It's like, Bron, you could
Nice.
help if you wanted.
Yeah. I
Bron,
could
you
lend
come
a
in,
hand.
and Gabby is halfway through attaching a heavy crossbow to the socket where the shotgun is normally
Nice.
mounted.
Nice.
Have I told you I love the way you think?
Yeah, she wasn't there, otherwise she'd say, don't tell Eric that the tenders already have someone who thinks like you. But yeah, she goes, that's sweet. Come on! And yeah, the two of you, the trick isn't mounting it, the trick is working out an auto-loader. And something that resets the trigger mechanism. So yeah, the crank, it takes about 7 minutes. And you guys come back out, and Raleigh hands the shotgun back to Julio. And she's
Nice.
like, I'm good now.
Yes.
You look so hot, and not even just with the oil inside.
They also took the oil out. Cool.
Sorry, we pumped her oil without you.
Damn it.
There's another whistling, and as dragons fly past, there's a sort of rustling as the leather of their wings sort of flutters. Just the pressure of it going past. You hear this whoosh, Colonel! You guys go out, you get up, you meet Kekahai. Gabby gives you a hug goodbye. Passes Riley up to Bron and Julio. Probably to Julio. And
How does one secure a sentient deep fat fryer to a dragon?
the grabby claw. She anchors herself quite well with the grabby claw onto one of Kekahai's.
Well, the question is how the rest of us
dorsal
holding on.
spines.
We don't have grabby claws.
Same deal. Dorsal spines are fairly sturdy, and you know she's yeah. She says, "Right, are we all good? We ready?"
I think so. Everybody holding on? Everyone's
I
been to the loo?
I will thorn whip / druid craft some like viney harnesses
Yeah.
for people to
Good idea.
hold on
Good
to.
idea.
I also have
Just in
druidcraft.
case.
I shall help.
I also have Druidcraft. I'm gonna also help. We
Yeah.
will create
Lash,
a
lash,
whole
lash,
net.
lash, and Bron
Yeah,
just
yeah.
uses rope like a peasant.
Peasant.
Bron, you're already starting and thinking like the common folk.
You don't need. Thank you. That's enough.
What the hell did you two talk about?
Don't worry about it.
Cool. You take off into the morning air. The fresh breeze helps alleviate Julio's. Julio, I'm afraid you are operating with a level of exhaustion this morning.
Yeah, makes sense.
But
makes sense.
yeah, viney. Yeah, not veiny. Cool. All right. I guess I'll scroll past all of that. Cool. Yeah. Coming. Yeah, I wrote this really cool description. Never mind. Kikahai takes you to a spot about 20 kilometers off the coast, perhaps about 50 miles north of Saltar's Point. A couple of vessels pass by beneath you. It takes an hour or so flight time. She's faster than any Hiscalia, which are majestic but not particularly nippy things. And a couple of vessels pass by beneath. A Coast Guard ship even dips its colors in respect, which is a thing ships do. They'll run down their flag to half-mast. It's sort of like modern ships. They would just they'll flash their lights or toot their horn.
Like tipping the hat.
It is. It's exactly tipping the hat. My dad has an amazing story from when he was at sea, where they were operating out of Argentina, and the Argentinian Navy and this was in the 80s, had been bought pretty much wholesale from European World War II navies, and so was somewhat outdated. But the best harbor pilot and one of the only harbor pilots in Argentina that knew the particular port that they were coming in and out of was the admiral of said fleet. So he often harbor piloted their ship out of harbor. So they were on like first name terms with the admiral of this navy that was out on maneuvers as they went past once. And they regularly saw each other. There was always the dipping of the colors and everything. And one time the navy didn't do it. And they kind of jokingly got on the horn and was like, dude, what the hell? And the entire Argentinian Navy turned the fuck around, steamed past them, turned around again, and went past, and every single one dipped the colors.
That's amazing.
And apparently, like, the way he tells it, one of them skimmed past really close in front of them as they went past. Like a, fuck you, we are really good at our jobs. You're like, okay, you've made your point. Love that story. Anyway, yes.
When the water, I mean, I imagine the water will probably be in view for some time, but when Eric gets a feeling that it's 20 minutes or less away, he will start ritual casting water breathing on everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's possible to do while riding a dragon.
Probably tricky, but yes. When you come in sight of the ocean, I imagine you'll be like, okay, cool. It's going to be soonish then. Yeah. The crew is gazing up in awe at you. Given her flair for the dramatic, Kikahai, perhaps a little unnervingly, angles down and plunges toward the spray. Coming within about 100 meters of the ship's bow, as she tucks her wings in and says, "Hold on, then!" And down you go.
No.
You can cast it on up to 10 people, right?
Yeah.
You count her in that?
Yeah, there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
I imagine she could, if anyone, she could probably already breathe underwater. But it
She
won't
can
hurt
hold her
to
breath
include
for
her.
a solid 20, 30 minutes. She, however, is not capable of breathing underwater.
So, I am going to bust. You know what?
Already?
I'm going to bust. Hope is not going to come out, but fear is.
Ooh.
And
From your chest and
Yeah.
grab her.
because Hope probably will struggle to exist underwater. So, me, Kesh, Julio, Bron, Kekahai, Fear, and Riley will all get water breathing on them. Not that Riley necessarily needs it, but
Just in
he can
case.
cast more, so.
Look, it's
Yeah.
a
Nice
nice safe
thought.
than accidentally drowning the sentient cooking pot.
Deep fat fry, I think.
Deep fat. I don't.
Anyone else have any pets or other small friends that they haven't disclosed up until this moment? Please let them be known now, otherwise they will drown.
Cash,
Okay.
yeah,
Any
Cash
stray
has a
bugs
decent-sized
still-
cockroach on her shoulder, yeah. And
You
it
don't want
flutters
to come
off.
with it.
Tank Hunter says, when I was in the Gulf, the British warship was going off station on its way home. As both a respectful salute and a smart-ass maneuver, my captain and navigator came screaming in at 18 knots, did a 180 turn, and passed the Royal Navy ship within 50 yards, and I stood on the bridge wing taking the salute. Don't mind telling you, Josh, that I was extremely puckered, but I had to pretend I knew exactly what was going on.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. You hit the water and down you go. You slide beneath the waves. And she dives. You descend very quickly. The light of the sun is reduced to a pale, dim all around you. I think we might leave it there. I think it's a good place to stop for the
That's
evening.
what?
Sweet.
As you breach the water barrier and head down towards the water node, guarded presumably by many things. Well, guys, that was a lovely session. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. I certainly did. We need to do a little bit of favorite moments. Tank Hunter, would you do us the honors of an exclamation mark space roll space number 5? A sailor, just like he was before. Exactly.
Like, I'm not planning on joining the Navy, but that sort of shit sounds fun. It's the whole war business that I wouldn't be into. I'm fine with shenanigans.
A 2. That's a Daria. Favorite Julio moments.
Oh,
I can go first. I really appreciated the story about Peggy.
Peggy.
That was such a lovely, like, Bron has been struggling, and it was a really nice pickup. There was a couple of different pickups today that Bron really needed, and it just, that whole sequence was really fun to riff with you about what do we do when we get drunk. Yes, great fun.
Yeah.
another one of those, like, just lovely little details about Julio that just pop out is that, you know, he has like an emergency inflatable titty vest. You know, for safety.
That Bron made him years ago.
Yes.
I appreciated how you ran with Karen's idea of there being a quirk to the thing you made and having it. It was unclear if it was just a fart sound or if it literally made you fart every time, but either way.
That's how you spelled.
It was Quilin. Thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Good on you, champ. My favorite Julio, putting the ring in your ear. Yeah, smart. I was just like, yeah, that's how we would
Dashing road. Dashing on road, of course.
Chillin'. There you go.
My favorite was definitely just like doing stupid bullshit with Braun, because we had so many like complex issues to address. It was just nice to just do some dumb shit, and I really enjoyed being the stupid hungover mouse in a puddle of mayo. That's really good.
Puddle of Mayo is my favorite band, by the way.
Chillin'.
What
I didn't know
genre of
that's how
music?
it's pronounced. I had always thought it was Quilin. It's the Chinese unicorn.
Oh, it's pronounced Chilin.
Jilin, apparently. There you go. Learn a new thing every day. At least I try to. And thanks for that resub, Tankard, you bloody champion. Yeah, they're really cool. They're like they have scales. They look like horses, but they have scales and sort of and horns. But what's fun is they have a lot of the same properties as just a traditional Western unicorn. And it's fun because those two cultures didn't have a huge amount of contact when they were both incepted. The myth even goes to to North America. The Native Americans, North America had it was basically a white Mustang, but it was a horse, a white horse that was considered to be a very pure spirit. Its tears could cure the sick. And it was just like, I love how that myth is all over the world. Kirin, but Japanese. Loads of people have it. It's just a really interesting pan-global myth. It's like dragons. And I'm like, wonder why. Cool. Alrighty. Favorite self?
I said just being a mayo-riddled little bitch.
Yeah, true that. Alrighty. I saw Tony rolled a D4. Which one do we got? A 3. That's Karen. Favorite cash?
Really enjoyed the entire scene with the dinner and Cash having a moment to like really discuss things, because again we have so much going on, barreling towards the finale of this arc, so it was really nice to see them interact and just have a good one. And also, little bonus one, I enjoyed that when Cash found out that Braun and Julio are outside like at a hot dog stand getting sloshed, she's like, ooh, look at that, a 3-star Michelin dessert, ooh, in the window. Very good.
Yeah. I loved
I think it.
No, carry on.
I think it says a lot about Kesh and her experiences with deities and higher powers that she made an insight roll when Kakahai offered her, at the most expensive restaurant in the place
to
determine.
Is this trying to have sex with me?
To determine her gender. I don't think that Kesh ever believed that Kakahai was trying to have sex with her.
I did.
I wasn't sure.
A hope and a belief are two different things.
Yeah, makes sense.
If someone wants to commission Daria to draw that, then she's available. But no, making that insight check to be like, I don't necessarily trust the agenda of this thing, was really interesting. It says a lot about Cash.
Yeah.
I also think it's that if you're dealing with a creature whose like life and culture is so dramatically different from your own, it's not so much that Cash doesn't trust Kikihai, it's just that she's not as across her like culture and her ways, so she may be doing something that's totally normal in her culture, and then Kesh has just completely missed something. So it's partially, am I being seduced? And partially, okay, I don't want to put my foot in whatever this is.
My favorite Kesh would be when she said, when Kekehai said, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "Yeah," and then she went, "Are you really okay?" And Kesh went, all right, no, I'm fucking not. And I was like, good, yes, good, correct response. Devarian. It's funny. It always has the same username, Devarian. You're like the third person who's told me about your username on Discord. I think you can just fuck right off, buddy.
Get
Thanks
better
for
material.
the follow, but yeah, I'm good.
Try how to be better.
My favorite Kesh moment was in that same conversation, but I really enjoyed her reaction to hearing that Hath thinks Kesh is pretty all right. Yeah, it was the right level of like shocked and cute and just like it was great to watch. It was great TV. That's what it was.
I actually wrote that down too. The specific wording was small emotional breakdown in response to you couldn't pick a better one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite self?
Oh, I think you guys have got most of them.
Cash had like one big scene, but it was a fairly big scene.
Yeah. I hope I dealt with it okay. I'm quite
I
tired.
had a second about you and General Sheridan.
Oh, yes?
I just really liked you were like bash your heads together about all the elemental hotspots in the wood. I thought that was smart, and it was something Iari had not suggested.
Yeah. It just made sense. I'm like, there's no reason to withhold this information. It'll be better for everyone if I don't.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it becomes a thing, we'll worry about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, to say something that hasn't been said already, I enjoyed wafting the smell of fresh kebab up Bruno's nose.
Yes.
Just
to shout in his face.
I forget.
And I really, as another Julio moment, I actually love the Mickey Mouse sort of, the water bubbles. Yeah, that was funny. But sort of unconscious property of the malfunctioning ring of jumping that he's got. Excellent. Alrighty. Pardon me. It was Quillen. Chillin, could you give me a D3 in chat, please? Exclamation mark roll space, as in just a space bar, the number 3. Or anybody else as well. We'll take any of them. But yeah, I know Chillin's there. Because we must choose the next person, and it is between me, Bron, and John and Eric, or Brendan. Some interesting stuff. Roll space. Roll. It needs to be an exclamation mark. Roll. I will type. That's the one. Like that.
Like this.
And it gets a 2. Alrighty.
A 2.
A 2. That is John.
That is John. Oh, well, of course, I really, really appreciated our conversation and Braun being like, I don't know what is happening, but I'm not okay for the first time ever. I think that was really, really cool. And I think outside of like magical influence on Braun, I think that's just a very human thing because I also am like this where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm okay. I can go on. And then suddenly at some point you're like, oh, actually, I'm not. Oh, fuck. What do I do now? So I really appreciated how you handled it.
Yeah, thank you.
Lambie, if you're actually interested, there's our YouTube. The how to play D&D is not something I can explain in 2 minutes. But basically, you sit down around the table and group hallucinate about a story. For example, today we've spent 3 hours group hallucinating about a conversation with the dragon over in a 5-star resort, a drunken night crafting magic items, and a family dinner, and then kind of cock-blocking a limb regrowth. So there you go.
If you really need things like step by step, I'm sure that if you look up on YouTube how to play D&D or how to get started in D&D, you'll find lots of resources there too. And so looking at those resources plus watching examples of actual play, which is what we do, would probably both be a benefit to you.
It is a great fun game. I strongly endorse. The main trick is find a DM who knows what they're doing, has played a few times before, and there is plenty of videos out there on how does build first character. I recommend a fighter. Start with a fighter. Hard to go wrong. Not overly difficult to use. No complicated spells or anything. The only other option is rogue, as really good, like first level. Hard to mess up a rogue. Hard to mess up a fighter. And just throw yourself at it. D&D Beyond is free at the base level, and a basic fighter can be built in there without having to spend any money. But yeah, if you want to see it done, there's our YouTube. And there is a bunch of stuff in there that you can see us do. Favorite John moments?
Yeah.
I would like to praise John, Bron, for like sticking to that. You know, putting the fist in the mouth wasn't the worst idea. Just being like, hey, like, I know it didn't work out that well, but it wasn't the worst idea. And I defend my right to have these ideas. I thought that was really nice. That also,
like, hindsight 2020, but honestly, like, unorthodox is what we want from Braun, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
and just to add a little exercise for that, I can't remember what year it was, but it was Candlekeep, and I was DMing, and they were fighting a crone, and I think whoever it was who was playing a wooden character.
Oh, it was the Zach was playing a wood creature.
I think it
right?
was Zach.
Yeah, Yevlik.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he decided to shove his arm into the mouth of the crone, and literally all her spells had verbal components. And she kept failing her roll to
get him out.
To get him to pull his arm out of her mouth. So she was totally fucking useless for rounds because she had this dude's fist lodged in her throat. It was hilariously effective. So, fist in mouth, sometimes effective.
Thank you, yeah.
I liked the list of things you came up with that you thought it would be a good idea to make. It was like this thing, or this thing. Or maybe a jug of alchemy. Could be really fun. Yeah, actually playing is the best way to learn, Lambie. That's that. But this is... I'm fairly picky with my casts, and I don't have a lot of time to just run games for anybody. I recommend going to a local game store. You will often find new groups. There's also usually a Facebook group where you can find people as well in your town who is playing it. If not, start one. You don't have to be the DM, just organize it. In fact, if you were not the DM and you organized it anyway, the DM would probably flock to you because DMing is hard enough without having to organize the damn thing as well. Yeah, Ron, favorite stuff? As long as everybody else have. Oh, Brendan?
No. I had gone to write something down and had written about half of it. It was a direct quote, and then the DM annoyingly asked me to start playing, and so I didn't end up finishing it.
Sorry.
But I've written, I was just going, and then that was it. But I think there were a lot of really nice introspective moments, continuing on from last week's introspection of, an exploration of how do I be okay with not being okay.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of a general thing that you did a number of times tonight that I thought was quite cool.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. I like a lot of these pieces of feedback have come from the opportunities that you guys have given me. So thank you so much for the conversations that you've had with me. Yeah. So it allows, like, I love collaborative storytelling like that, and giving people the opportunity to do stuff. And part of that, I think the things that I liked the most tonight was me turning my own personal indecision of like, what is Eric saying, into the mechanic of, oh, well, I'll roll for insight. I forget to do that so often, and I'm so glad that I did. And that it led to the deeper conversation of like, yeah, but these are my ideas. Like, don't fuck with my ideas, man. I hear what you're saying, but Bron doesn't have many lines, but that's one of them. And it was, yeah.
That was really cool to see. Was seeing a line.
Yeah. And I enjoyed that whole half of the conversation. Well, both halves, but yeah. I thought that was fun.
It was something that I had wanted to do since the last session, to have that conversation. I'd written a bunch of notes last session to be like, Brendan, don't forget to do this.
Yeah, cool.
And then you had that conversation, or series of conversations with Julio talking about not being okay and stuff, and I was like, oh, is it going to be too much on Bron to then have this conversation where Eric is kind of scolding him and wanting the fact that he's not going to fix the problem immediately? But then I was like, well, Eric doesn't know that conversation happened.
No, he doesn't.
And Eric and Brendan both kind of think that's a point that's worth exploring of, his, anyway, that might get into that later, but, it's more than just our four characters and our bestest friends in character, but our favorite NPCs.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really cool point. And I think the way that it was navigated was like, are we still going to be friends after this? We ended up, not hurting each other, which is great.
Yeah, that was very cool. And then I did see a 2 from Tony. Have you done? Sorry, was that Bron's favorite, or was that John's favorite, or was that Eric's favorite?
That was mine. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm being attacked by a dog, so it's difficult to keep track of who's
she's
saying exactly what.
She's being aggressively snuggly with you right now.
Yeah, she is.
Anyone would think she'd been ignored all day.
She is a little bit. But also, her breath isn't like absolutely atrocious now, because there isn't rotting plant matter stuck in her gums. So she's actually like not horrible to have up in your face. You are so lovely, you are. Yeah. Hello. So that's her favorite Eric moments. Favorite Brendan. She is very soft.
Well, to build on what they just discussed about Bron, Eric, putting his thoughts out there and then, letting it go and saying, you know what, let's go back. Like, his point is not to simply criticize or point fingers, right? He's like, I think this is a valid thing to say, and now that I have, we can move on. I think that was a very mature way to handle it.
I liked the whole tone, because up until this point, one of the things that Bron's been freaking out about is that, feelings for the first time. But that then rejigged everything, not just saying, hey, it's okay, but saying, hey, here's a way to channel it. Here's something to focus on and give him a real purpose. That was really great. I enjoyed that higher level decision, if that makes sense, of how to frame that conversation. That was really cool.
I'm going to highlight the decision to take him to the hospital. Does this have to happen at the hospital? Yes, it does. Because you need to see why I'm not doing it to you. You need to see that there is somebody who may not necessarily he's not in mortal peril. He's in a hospital. He'll live. Whereas I might not, and that's why. That's why I'm doing this today to him, not you, who with having 2 arms might actually make me live, might give me a better chance of living. I'm gonna make sure we fix this guy, because whilst it wasn't our fault that he got hurt, it kind of was a little bit. And yeah. It also charmingly adds narrative weight to the created character that was really put in there just to tug a heartstring. And yeah, I mean, well, it was put in there because Kesh decided to go to the hospital. I'm like, okay, so you would find someone who this happened to, yeah. Making him a charming, likable teenager is the heartstrings tuggy bit. But yeah, deciding to...
The fact that you just so happened to make them someone with missing limbs.
No, he was a paraplegic. He had broken his bike. He didn't lose any limbs.
Oh, I distinctly remember you saying that they had, but that could just be me misunderstanding.
Yeah, I may have misstated, but it was never my intent to. Yeah. But yeah, I actually think that was, yeah, I thought that was a really good choice. I thought it was a really interesting choice that gave it more weight. You can't just, if you had gone to the hospital, done that, and then Bron's like, hey, cool, so my arm, you go, yeah, about that. I gave it to this kid who was in a hospital instead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruised clavicle. It was a little bit more than a bruised clavicle.
Whatever it was, I distinctly remember there being a conversation of, hey, you need to be regenerated. Luckily, I know a guy who can do that.
Oh, definitely. He had a broken spine.
Unless I'm just... Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was paralyzed. But he had all his limbs. They just didn't work.
Right.
Yeah. That was the intended inference, anyway. Yeah. Other favorites? Other favorite Erics?
Eric having family dinner was so cute.
Yeah.
Seeing
like,
what Yari needed.
I'm like, I'm in a fancy restaurant with dragons. These guys are at a beer hall getting smashed. And Eric's having a lovely dinner with his family. That's so cute.
And insisting that Granny remembers his brother Wraith, despite the fact that both the player and the DM were struggling to remember the name of the guy.
Shit, I have a brother.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Another point to that. Fuck Ricky. I love that.
What's he ever done for us?
I mean, his wife's probably doing that just fine. She did retire from the Navy to be with him.
But you all remember Greeky's wedding, right?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was lovely.
His big fat Greeky wedding.
That was not the joke we made, but yes. And Julio didn't go.
The
so
fact
he didn't
that
remember.
it's been 4 years without making that joke.
It's impressive.
That's crazy.
That's
How
excellent.
did we miss that?
If you didn't, you
Daria,
actually
why
spent
didn't
your
you make that
inspiration.
joke? You've
didn't
had
you?
so many
No.
opportunities.
Yeah, I did.
I think you did, so you've got it back.
Yes.
Yeah. I never took it off,
Nice.
so it's still there. Excellent. Well done. Good work. We are 2 followers away from a follower goal as well, so we're close to getting another one back. Need John for the best puns. You do. That is what John's primary skill is here. Brendan, favourite self?
I don't feel like I did a lot, but something that hasn't been said was talking about the tenders being prepared for the Scorched Grove and the idea that, hey, instead of us being on the front lines, let's use summoned elementals and animated objects and things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thinking through a battle plan. They're not soldiers. They're a fire brigade.
Yeah.
And now they are kind of having to be deployed as soldiers, or at least in direct support of soldiers. So yeah, thinking of it as a commander would. Absolutely.
Well, that was kind of what I had in mind as well, is have the front line of things where if they get destroyed, then either they were never living to begin with, or they just go back to their own plane.
Yeah.
Whereas you have the tenders who can, from the back lines, be shooting water and doing what they're actually good at.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty. Well, then we need a D1 in chat. Or we could just start flattering the DM, because I usually get to go last. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
almost like
notice.
you engineer that.
I don't. I have nothing to do with it. How dare you?
My favorite, I actually wrote down a quote which I loved, and I love it because it was great in the moment, but also it's great advice for life. The only reason it feels like your fault is because of your successes so far. I was like, yeah,
True.
so true, and also just a really comforting thing to say in the moment to Kesh, who is freaking out at the enormity of what was going on. I was like, that's just, yeah, that works on so many levels. I loved it. Chef's kiss.
I really enjoyed the details you put into Eric's family dinner, how people interact, how like the grandma is trying her best to like keep it a family gathering, which is it's a really nice detail. I like it.
Yeah.
I love how you play Kiki High. She's such a lovely character to bounce off, and I also enjoyed her just swooping past in the morning, being like, "Cash, Colonel."
This is an entire city. She doesn't know where you live.
So she's just flying around screaming, definitely not upsetting people or probably still traumatized from it.
I'm the representative of a god. Fuck all of you. Where's Colonel Glitterweave? Fetch her for me.
Mine is a small moment, but I assume that you had written stuff for if we were traveling by land or by sea, that, when we were traveling on Kekahai, you just said, okay, I'm just going to skip this bit. And so not being precious about, well, I wrote this thing, so you must hear it.
Go back, get in a fucking boat.
Yeah. Or like, no, that thing that you wanted to do doesn't work. You have to do this thing. And
I did have a thing. It wasn't by land or by sea. It was an alternate thing, but it actually feeds into my favorite moment, which is I got a little bit, and I think, I don't know, but I think Brendan was trying to make the point that there was an element I was getting of, they haven't earned it yet, it hasn't happened yet, we don't have time for this yet. Sort of in world and sort of out of world, and I was like, yeah, I take the point there. It needs to be earned a little bit, and I like a little bit more progression towards it. I had the solution in my head that it was just going to happen, that the tree would do it. But this is better, this is earned, and it took me, the reason I took the break was to sort of figure that out. And go like, yeah, no, that's, like, the dice, I think the dice is telling me this. I think that's kind of in line with what Brendan was trying to say. If it wasn't, I apologize for misunderstanding, but it's led us down this path, here we are now. Yeah, so it like, there were two ways to do it. Kekahai was absolutely one of them. Kekahai was the original plan that I had, and then I was like, ooh, wait, this would be so much cooler when the whole tree boat thing came up. The tree boat thing will now still happen, but it will happen differently. And Bronn, we've now introduced it into the narrative, and it can now happen in a much more organic pace, which I think is better. So yeah, that's what I'm happy with was, like, that's right, remembering not to rush things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was proud of that. Also, as Watchful Wizard says, the lore stuff, the gods and the multiverse is always fun to sort of expound on, and relate the fact that she's actually kind of maybe from Eberron. No, not Eberron, from Faerun. Making direct reference to Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, that was fun too. Alrighty, well, guys, glorious. Thank you very much for joining us today. We have that's everybody's favorite moments, I think. So we should go away and raid somebody, and then have 3 days off because Karen and I have streamed several times this week, and we need a little bit of a breaklet. And plus, I've got gigs all weekend. I have to go.
We're not really
Santa
having a break.
on
We're
Saturday.
just not streaming and doing other
I'm
stuff
actually
for
having a
few
fairly
days.
gentle weekend. I think I've only got one gig this weekend. And it's with you because they cancelled the whole thing at Floriat, so I'm back on Newtown.
Yay! It's
so
only an
Karen-
hour long and we get to do it together!
We get to do it together, which will be fun. It's a corporate Christmas party, and I get to be Santa and the Elf with Karen. So we will go and drop a raid on the Killer Bits, I think, who are doing games and demos. They're doing Creature Kitchen, another random Thursday. Creature Kitchen. The Killer Bits do loads of random live actual plays. So yeah, throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell the Killer Bits where you came from. Show them the love like we always do. And we'll see you same bad time, same bad channel on Monday night for Karen's run at the Scrivener's Tale from Candlekeep Mysteries, a level 14 adventure, Christmas themed with some very silly characters, in which hopefully Brendan and I will be appearing at some point. So say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe, you wee scallywags! Avast for now! Whee!